Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon, let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Jenny. How are you today?
Great, thank you for asking.
Boy, old Braun, he must be really happy today.
Oh, go Jay.
See that? I'm not talking about winning Western Conference Player of the Week.
What do you do?
What are you talking about?
His Cowboys are back. They are back in the saddle. He's got to be ecstatic. Can you see him at home behind closed doors saying, "We got this"?
He's a big Cowboys fan.
Yeah, he's a big Cowboy fan. That just kills you.
He knows that he and I part ways.
Yeah, way.
Right there?
See, that's the only redeeming value to LeBron James is he loves the Cowboys. And the
Whatever.
Yankees.
There you go. At least
And the
you give
Yankees.
it.
Now, he and I we can talk about the Yankees.
Disagree. We have tons to get to today. Is Tom Brady already coming for Drew Brees' touchdown record?
Yep.
And did LeBron really deserve his latest award? I'm looking forward to that one. But first, there are conflicting reports about Dak's injury. During the broadcast of the Cowboys-Rams game on Sunday, Troy Aikman said that Dak was dealing with a hairline fracture on the index finger of his throwing hand. After the game, Jason Garrett refused to acknowledge the exact injury was and said he didn't want to get into the medical part of it. According to one report that came out yesterday, Dak is just dealing with a bone bruise and not a hairline fracture. So, Shannon, what do you believe?
Well, Skip, I'm more inclined to believe Troy because Troy lives in Dallas. He's very close to the team. He's very plugged into this ball club. And so I'm very sure, I'm almost certain that he got that from a very reliable source. Now, he probably wish he hadn't opened that can of worms, Skip, because you know when you do games, you get an opportunity to go watch practice. You get an opportunity to go in those production meetings, and they tell you things that they don't really want to come out to be known publicly. So Troy probably wish he hadn't have said anything about this, and then the people that probably told Troy that he had something probably went to Calvin Watkins or Todd Archer, if I'm not mistaken, and said, "Well, it's just a bruise. It's nothing major." Because I don't want any excuses. Because the way it's being you bring it out now, it's almost like you're making excuses for why he's played so bad up until this point. And there's no reason. Skip, on Sunday I looked and went back and looked at it when I knew we was going to talk about this. I didn't see him shaking his hand. I didn't see him grimacing. I didn't see him wince. And you mentioned that he's done a great job of holding on to the ball last year. That's been a problem of his, of losing the ball while he's in the pocket taking hits.
Only lost one fumble all year.
All year, and I didn't
knock on wood.
Well,
Thank you.
It's hard for him to lose a fumble considering they didn't really knock him down on Sunday. But you get the gist of where I'm going with this, Skip. So I'm apt to believe Troy, but he probably wish he hadn't opened up this can of worms. Skip, I'll give you a prime example. I remember I did a feature on the Broncos, Peyton's first year. They were going to the playoffs. Now, I watched Peyton practice with a glove.
This is for CBS?
This is for CBS.
Yep.
I watched Peyton Manning throw with a glove. I see the gloves in his locker. Skip, I can't go back on there and say that Peyton Manning because that's confidential. I can't do that.
Okay.
There's a lot of things, Skip, teams would tell me.
Well, I mean, you could have.
I could have, but then I breached the trust.
Okay.
Be careful with
And
that.
that's the thing that and I like to think that when they tell me things, and they like, Shannon, you can talk about this, or Shannon, no, don't say anything about this. The one thing I want to always have is trust, be it me and a team or me and a player. Now, I'll always ask a player, Skip, you mind if I share this on air?
Sure.
No problem. Ask the team, well, what can I, hey, dress it up, but don't attribute it, so forth and so on. So, Skip, I just think Troy probably wishes he had not opened up this can of worms because normally, Skip, when they do the injury report, they say leg. They don't want to get into specifics because they don't want you to target certain areas. If the Coach Belichick guy has an injury, Coach Belichick might say body. Well, it might be arm, shoulder, leg, knee. You don't know because, trust me, if a player, the team see like, okay, he has an injury, and they say, okay, it's his ankle. Skip, I see him come out there with a spat job on. Okay, so really, something is really going on with the ankle. So I just think Troy probably wish he had just kept this under wrap, kept this to himself, because he probably opened up something that shouldn't, or the Cowboys didn't want to open.
Okay, so just for the record, yesterday you doubted that he had a hairline fracture in his index finger of his right hand.
Still do.
You still doubted?
Yeah.
Okay, yet you said that Troy opened up a can of worms he shouldn't have. So So now I'm going to have to presume from what you're saying that Dak exaggerated when he told Troy, that's the report was,
Yes,
that
they spoke.
That they spoke. This is from our man Clarence Hill that we had on the show.
Yeah, well, see,
before.
Clarence said that. I'd have took that to my bank. I take that to my handy bank. Anything old Clarence Hill Jr. say?
Yeah.
By the way, Clarence Hill, you owe me a gallon too.
Really?
Texas lost to Oklahoma. Yeah.
Really? You bet on
Yeah, I
that?
bet him. He act like I've been trying to DM him, Skip, and message inbox him, and he act like he can't get none of those.
You bet on my Oklahoma
I bet on
Sooners?
them.
Wow. So
was-
you have seen the light.
I guess he has.
Way to go.
Against Texas.
Oh, okay.
That's what that was.
That makes it different.
Okay. I didn't know Clarence Hill was a Texas.
I think he went to Texas.
He must have. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Back to this. Okay, so this is what I think happened. I believe that it was either in the production meeting on Saturday, which is less likely, or on the field on Sunday. And Troy always mentions during the broadcast, the
Talks about before the
telecast,
game.
I went down on the field and I saw so-and-so.
Correct.
Okay, I'm just going to guess, maybe even educated guess, that Troy went down before the game and happened to sort of bump into Dak on the field, and Dak did have his index finger taped up.
Correct.
It's possible, again, I don't have any inside knowledge on this, that Troy just was making conversation. You okay? I got a little hairline fracture on the tip of my index finger. Ooh, really? You gonna be okay? Yeah, I'll be okay. And remember, Troy is not a player anymore. He's on our side of the fence.
Right.
So I would respect Troy then to report that. And I told you yesterday, when he said it early in the telecast, wow, I about fell off my chair because that had not been out there.
Well, I think he was on the injury report, Skip, with
both.
both
Hands.
hands.
He was.
But he was a full participant.
Didn't miss any days.
Okay, so I didn't know what the both hands were. Then they said maybe the left one was more of his wrist, and I didn't know anything about a smashed up right index finger from the Bears game.
Because what, Skip? They say hands because they don't want you to target or know either.
Specify.
Correct.
Okay, so then Troy goes with it on the air, and I'm proud of him. I'm like, go Troy, go, because again, he is representing a media entity, Fox Sports.
Right.
And again, Dak would have nothing but respect for a Cowboy legend quarterback, right?
Right.
So he might be more prone to talk to Troy, even though Troy has been at points critical of Dak.
Yes.
But Dak doesn't seem to take criticism personally.
Right.
He takes it
Understand
in
that's his
stride.
job.
It's just part of your job. And again, he would honor the criticism from a guy
Oh, so in
who's
other
done it.
words, he respect what I'm saying because that's a part of my job, right, Jenny? Is that what you say about Dak, but me?
You didn't play quarterback.
Whoa, talk about Skip.
Troy Aikman played quarterback in that hot seat for that team, America's
No
team.
offense, Shannon.
But I thought if,
You were a
player, because normally what they try to do with you, Skip, when you criticize them, well, you didn't play. Well, what position did you play? How they gonna come for Sharpe? With the 8 Pro Bowls, the 3 Super Bowls, the Hall of Fame credential.
Well, as
What they
long
gonna-
as you're criticizing a tight end. Then
No. My criticism is not just, it's just not to
But
the
Dak
tight
would
end.
shrug off your criticisms. He'd say, he never played quarterback.
Yeah.
He has no idea what's going on here, right? Okay, so now it does get reported, much to Dak's chagrin, because he's probably thinking, gee, because he probably thought, I was just talking to Troy sort of
He thought it was probably off the record.
man to man. We were
Right.
just, the two of us were just having a
Right.
little pregame conversation.
Right.
Okay, so it does get reported, and the Cowboys don't love that it got reported.
Correct.
Not that they're going to hold it against Troy, because they're not, but they want to try to minimize. They put out a little bit of the brush fire that gets started over this. So they're going to drop hints to 2 key reporters, 2 very good reporters. You mentioned Todd Archer, Calvin Watkins, the Dallas Morning News, Todd Archer of ESPN.
Right.
And I don't know if it came from Rich Dalrymple, the PR director. It could have come from Stephen or Jerry. They just wanted them to know, hey, it's really not fractured. It just got smashed. And Calvin Watkins had the report that there was blood in the fingertip.
Right.
So it just gathered
Right.
some blood probably
Right.
under the end of the
Right.
nail.
Correct.
Okay. So to your point, they don't want it out there so that the Eagles can say, oh, he's got a hairline fracture and it's not going to get any better in a week. So if we get a chance, take a swipe at it. Just try to hit him on his right index finger. If you get the shot, take the shot. Because if in fact it is hairline fractured, and I believe it is, that it's going to be a dull ache. And every time he grips hard to throw, you're going to get a little sting from it because you just are. It's not going to get better probably the rest of this year, right?
No.
Sure.
If in fact it's hairline fracture.
Correct.
And the point is, Dak did suck it up and play, and he's not an excuse maker either. He doesn't make excuses after games, and he doesn't exaggerate, or he doesn't. I think he told the truth. This is just my take. He told the truth to Troy.
Right.
He didn't expect it to be publicized.
Correct.
And now he's got to go forward into the game of the year for this team with this hanging over his head. And he doesn't want it to be made a big deal because he doesn't want to think about it anymore. And he definitely doesn't want the Eagles to take shots at him.
Yeah, I agree with you, Skip. I think the thing is that when you say something, and look, for players moving forward, you need to let the reporter or whomever you're talking to, it's OTR, it's off the record. Otherwise, they're going to report that because that's news. Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Cowboys, having a hairline fracture in his index finger on his throwing hand is news.
Right.
He's going to report that.
Okay, Troy Aikman is a member of the media,
Yes.
right? I mean, you have to accept that he's on our side of the fence now, right?
You might say he's color and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but he's still a media member.
Right, and he can't act repertorially as a
Right.
reporter,
Right.
right, on the air.
Right.
If he
Should know
if
that.
he gathers information on the field or in the production meeting, it's fair game.
Because the thing is, Skip, when he's down there like that, he's almost in a role like Erin Andrews. Just like she gathers the information and she talks to people on the sideline. Well, I talked to such and such, and I talked to head
And
coach.
because of that, I think players and coaches would be a little more careful with Erin because they know she's
That's
what
what-
Jenny is at
I'm
the. You've been
conscious
there
of that.
constantly,
There's
right?
information that you have to be careful with,
Okay.
and I do like to clarify. Is this okay to report?
Okay.
Because I don't ever want to ruin that
Right.
relationship. And if it's something like this, you know that's going to affect
But
everyone.
occasionally, Jenny Taft is just sort of hanging back
you
around the
see
bench
plenty.
area, and you see
Yeah.
somebody getting retaped, or and you can. That's fair game to
Right.
report.
And
Hey,
yeah, right.
he needed his ankle retaped because he may have.
But I
heard it
often
again.
like to clarify then with the team to make
Yeah.
sure I heard this, I'm going to report it so they at
Right.
least know it's coming.
Right.
Because at some
Okay.
point you want to make sure you cover your bases in that sense.
Okay, fine. So now we go back to his performance on Sunday. He did throw a career low 23 passes with season low,
Season low.
23 passes.
Correct.
And a season low 15 completions.
Right.
Was that because of the finger or the recommitment to run the football? Did it start to work immediately to run the football? It seemed like they might have been protecting his fractured finger. I'm just being honest. That's my takeaway.
Skip, what did we see? We saw a team in the past couple of weeks. We've seen a team fall behind 14, 17 points. Therefore, your run game is rendered useless. We saw a team on Sunday get ahead, stay committed to the running game. So Dak's services was not needed nearly as much. It would have been interesting to see, Skip, had this game been nip and tuck. They fall behind by 10. Do they abandon the run game and ask Dak to throw it 45, 50 times like they have asked him to
like
do?
consistently,
Correct,
regularly.
correct,
That's what they have done.
Yes.
I do want to point out that it wasn't like he was rendered your basic game manager because remember, in that first touchdown drive that made it 7-0, there's the big 3rd and 9. He scrambled right and hit Amari. He was set down in the zone, and it was the only pass that he caught all day on Jalen Ramsey.
Correct.
But it was a 19-yard completion that kept the drive alive. That
Correct.
was 3rd and 9. And then remember, on the touchdown pass to Jason Witten, it was 3rd and 10. So it's a huge play in the game, and it was a thrown football. To your point, was it behind him? Was it behind him for a reason, or did it just come out a little off kilter because of the index finger?
Right.
Maybe some of both, but Jason shocked me by making a one-hand stab behind him, and I don't think Shannon Sharpe ever did that.
Man, stop playing.
I don't think you ever pulled off.
Stop.
Did you ever do
Gotta
anything
pull
like
the
that?
tape.
This is a Hall of Fame catch right here.
Man, you better
Wow,
stop.
how about that?
Stop.
You didn't think he had it in him anymore,
man.
did you? Huh?
I mean, he walked
was
right
good.
down the field, Skip.
Yeah.
I mean, look here.
He walked all the way downfield,
I mean,
and then he just bulldozed
It was a heck of a
his way right
catch.
into the
It was a
end
heck of a catch.
zone. It was a heck of a catch, and then he said, "You're not going to keep me out of this."
No,
end
no, you
zone."
get that close, you got to
And
get
that
it
was
in.
the end of that deal, right? Because he still weighs like 250-ish or whatever he weighs, maybe
60.
more.
Yeah,
got
yeah,
in.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So those are two big third and
Correct.
long
Right.
conversions
Right.
and one for a touchdown. So then, again, the play of the game for me, because their history has been the other team goes and scores and it's 7-7, and then they go cold on offense. Well, he did beat Dante Fowler on the rush and throw it 59 yards across the field to Tavon for the touchdown.
Right.
And Tavon, again, the two Rams ran together, so
Right.
it was a fairly easy completion, but it was the biggest completion of the year for this football team because for once they surged back ahead 14-7, and then they didn't look back. And then comes that long touchdown drive, and on that one, he at least, remember, it's 3rd and 4 at the 9, and he hit your man Blake Jarwin for 20 yards, and it kept that 97-yard drive alive,
right.
and then he hit Blake Jarwin again for another 20 yards, thereby living up to my nickname for him. He is Shannon Jarwin.
You know, Skip, and probably, look, the severity of it, maybe it's a hairline fracture, maybe it has nothing, maybe it doesn't, or it hasn't affected his throwing mechanics yet. But if I had saw the ball skipping off the turf, I mean, Dak is not the most accurate, so it looked like Dak to me, Skip. I just think when they got ahead and they had a commitment to run the football, because remember, you Skip, Zeke is getting 5, he's getting 7, he's getting 12. Pollard is coming in. There is no need to ask Dak to do heavy lifting now because they can't stop the run. It was kind of like last year in the playoff game. It was a complete reversal of what happened in the playoff game. The Rams got off early. They were running the football to 170-plus yards in the first half, ended with 273.
That's
well, the
true.
Cowboys got up to the great start running, so they didn't need Dak to do any heavy lifting.
Okay,
So-
but they didn't need some heavy lifting early to establish the lead.
But like you said, it was a season-low 23 pass attempts. Now, maybe if he gets up to 38, 43, they've asked Dak to throw the ball almost 50 times a couple of times this year, Skip. So it'll be interesting to see if this Sunday, if there's a hairline fracture or bruise or whatever the index finger might be, because people are like, well, index finger, that's the last finger that leaves the ball.
Yeah.
That's what's responsible for this, Skip.
Interesting.
Yeah, sometimes it might be your middle finger would be the last finger.
So
it's longer,
you
but
want that. Look, he did not have a Drew Brees injury. Drew Brees missed 5-6 weeks of the season
with a
thumb when he hit the helmet. I think it was Aaron Donald's helmet.
Oh yeah.
That was
correct.
a different injury. Now, my brother had that injury his senior year. He was a quarterback, throwing a pass the last day of practice. Boop, broke it.
Really?
No more quarterback, running back. So they moved to running back. So it
maybe the best thing that ever happened to him, right?
well, he wanted to go to Clemson, but Clemson wasn't going to let him play offense. They was going to put him at defensive back.
You're kidding.
Yep.
Really?
Sterling Sharpe?
Yep.
Clemson wanted to put him at DB?
They wouldn't put him at DB. They wouldn't even give him an opportunity to play offense.
You're kidding.
Nope.
So he went
Missed
to
He went to South Carolina.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet they regret that one a little
Well,
bit.
I'd say this, 'cause I got to
Just a
tell
little
you,
bit.
I know his career got cut short because of his back injury, his
neck.
disc injury, but he's a Hall of Famer to me.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
He was.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. So now I look at the long-term weather forecast. That could change dramatically between now and Sunday. But the forecast for Philadelphia this Sunday is mid-40s with only a 10% chance of precipitation and light wind. Well, that's pretty balmy for
Dallas.
Not bad.
December, right?
But that's pretty,
bad.
hey, Dallas, you couldn't ask for anything, but in the Northeast, I mean, Philly, and you getting this kind of weather, you got to feel good about yourself.
Okay, so my point is, Dak's not a great cold weather quarterback. He does not love the cold weather, period, end of story. But let alone if you got a hairline on your index finger, so maybe it won't ache so badly because it won't be freezing like
Well, put a
bitter
glove,
cold.
but maybe if it affects your grip, you put a glove on.
Well, he
Skip.
put
Maybe that actually
finally put a
helps.
glove on at New England and started to throw it a little bit.
I mean, but you'd have to practice with it. And you know, Peyton, once he started putting those gloves on, he never took them off. So it didn't matter the climate or indoors, outdoors, he played with it. You see, Brady always have the glove on one hand, but not the other. Phillip Rivers has gloves on both hands. So you just, whatever you get comfortable with, and if that seems to be a problem with your grip, you just, hey.
Okay, remember, he started the game with it taped.
Right.
And soon into the first quarter, I don't know exactly where it was, some point mid-first quarter, he took the tape off.
Right.
And after that, it looked like he got a little more comfortable with his grip.
Because, Skip, even though he only had the top digit of it taped, you want to feel that. Because that tape is between the ball and your skin. You want to feel it. And so you can tell, obviously he took it off because he didn't feel the ball was coming out like he was accustomed to it coming out. So he didn't seem to have a problem once he removed the tape.
Okay. I still believe it's fractured, and Jason Garrett, I thought, slipped up a little bit yesterday when he was trying to be evasive, and he did acknowledge, I've never had a hairline fracture in my hand to throw. So I thought he was inadvertently validating the premise there is a hairline fracture.
Right.
So to me, it's not the best news.
Catch, yeah.
I think he can manage it, and I think the team loved it that he sucked it up
Right.
and just played. I don't think you can shoot it in
No.
I just don't think you can.
You don't want that numb, Skip, because that's the thing that really controls a lot of it.
Yep.
And I think you and I both are in agreement. You believe that Dak told Troy that it was like that, and you believe somebody in the organization fed Calvin Watkins.
the fire out.
Correct.
Yes.
So okay.
Right. They tried to damage control
Correct.
it just a little bit, and
Right.
I do not blame either side for how they
exactly.
reacted.
Okay, well, Dak Prescott's toughness never questioned. That is something.
Ain't
we can
tough
all
like we'll
agree
walk
on.
it to him though.
Walking to him's a tough
Oh,
kid,
walk it to him.
but
Yeah, but
so
he's
is
had
Every time I
few
heard that.
more injuries.
Did you know walking to him through a touchdown on a torn ACL? We talking about a hairline fracture. Walking to him through a tub on a ACL tear.
All I know is my quarterback is better than your
No,
quarterback.
no,
and he
no.
will prove it once again this Sunday.
Well, look, my guy, I mean, you remember how you used to cry? You come out here for like 3 years straight crying and slinging snot because he ain't have a number one. Oh, Dez Bryant is washed up. I can't get him out. Get him out of my sight. You told me to get Dez Bryant out of your sight.
And you agreed with that premise.
Yeah,
Right?
well, we got all week to talk.
But who we got? Look what he's throwing to. Greg Ward Jr. Greg Ward worked his butt off to get in the position. That's what he's throwing to now, Skip. Greg Ward Jr.
Against the Rams, Amari caught one ball. Gallup caught one ball.
Skip.
Randall Cobb caught one ball.
Skip, remember, there's a reason why John Gruden traded Amari Cooper. He would have these games where he'd go for 200, and then the next week he'd go for 30, and the next week he'd go for 30. So we see.
I agree, and I told you at that point, John didn't like his motor. He doesn't think it runs hot enough every game.
Right.
Like he's not driven enough for Gruden's taste.
Okay.
Gruden might like him right now, but that's a whole nother issue.
That is a whole nother issue. No mercy. Drew Brees had a historic night as the Saints steamrolled the Colts 34-7. Brees not only set the single-game record for highest completion percentage, but the Saints QB also passed Peyton Manning for the most passing touchdowns of all time and now has 541. Tom Brady is only 3 career touchdowns behind Brees and tweeted his congratulations, but also followed it up, saying, quote, "Your records will be tough to beat, but it's worth trying." So, Shannon, what do you make of Brady's tweet?
Skip, this ain't about Tom. Tom, this is not about you. This is Brees' moment. Congratulations, man. Unbelievable career. I'm happy to play in an era in which you played. I'm happy to be a quarterback. Yada yada yada. This is not about you. You're gonna interject that'll be like me, hey, guy getting ready to retire, Jen, and I'm up there giving a speech. Bob, you had an unbelievable career. 30 years of great service, but you know my career is gonna be just as good as yours, bro. Bro, it ain't about you. It is not about you, Tom. Let this man have his moment.
Trying to be funny.
No, don't be funny. You can't be funny in someone else's moment.
Okay.
You be funny in your moment. And Skip, look, Drew got drafted in 2001. I went back to the Broncos in 02 and 03. Skip, I didn't see this. As a matter of fact, I didn't think it was very good because we played them in 02.
Yep.
No, 03, excuse me, my last year. Skip, he started the first game. We beat the brakes out of him. He ended up getting beat. They started Doug Flutie. And now I want people to understand this. Under Drew Brees' watch, they got an opportunity to draft Eli Manning. That means you got to be pretty bad to get the number 1 overall pick. Am I right, Skip?
You were right.
I did not see this coming. Anybody that say they saw this coming from Drew Brees is lying. If Sean Payton tells you, Mickey Loomis, anybody in New Orleans, Skip, because he was only given a 10% chance of ever playing. He was supposed to be playing golf. His shoulder went the wrong way several times, trying to recover fumble the last game of the season against the Broncos one year. So, Skip, for him to do what he's been able to do at the size he's been able to do it, because he's really the first quarterback at that stature.
Yep.
Most quarterbacks 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", Skip,
Yep.
being able to throw over the top. But Drew has found a way to throw through lanes. He made it in vogue for guys like Russell Wilson, guys like a Baker Mayfield, a Kyler Murray. Because before all of those guys, it was this little 5'11" or however tall he is, Skip, guy.
I think he's
6. You will give him 6 or 5'11".
I think he's a little over 6. And I've stood next to him a number of times. He's a little taller than you think he is, but go ahead. He's still short for a
Listed
quarterback.
at 6 feet.
Yeah.
So that means he's 5'11" and a quarter. So whatever they list you as, it's not like the NBA, Skip. They actually list your actual height now.
They give him a little.
Skip, look, in watching him last night, it was surgical. This is ridiculous. I mean, okay, he has the most touchdown passes. He has the highest completion percentage in a season. He has the highest completion percentage for a year. He has the highest most passing yards for a career. Skip, he's not done. Tom, you're never going to have this record because if you look at it, Skip, let's be real, all the way 100. Drew Brees is playing at a higher level than Tom Brady, Skip. And the thing that he has in his favor is that what, Skip? Half of his games every year are played in what? A dome. And then he gets another game where, Skip? In Atlanta, in a dome. And then he gets another game what year? He might get rain in Tampa, but it's really nice. Now, he might get some cold weather, so that's the advantage that he has over Tom, is that he's playing 9 of his games every year in a climate-controlled building. Elements will never come into play. Well, Tom is playing in Foxborough. He's got a game in New York also, and he got a game in Buffalo. So, Skip, the difference is 10 of his games, you never really know what kind of weather you're going to get. But this is unbelievable what he's been able to do. This many, and the thing is, Skip, you look at, okay, Phillip Rivers is at 395. You believe Phillip Rivers is going to throw for another 160 touchdowns? I do not. Ben Roethlisberger is at 365. Skip, and I think 365, and then you got Aaron Rodgers at 362. So, Skip, whomever, and I believe Drew, when he retires, will have this record. You're basically looking at Mahomes, but you got to have a lot of things, Skip. You look at Drew. Drew has really, this was the first injury that he had this year that caused him to miss a significant amount of time. Tom had the ACL, that caused him to miss an entire season. But for the most part, they show up with their lunch pail, they hard hat, they punch the time clock, and they do work. Skip, I believe Drew will end up with this record. He will have this record a lot longer than Peyton Manning did. Peyton had it for about 2.5 years, Skip, before Drew came along and broke it. He's going to have this. The only guy I can see that can come close right now is my homeboy. Nobody else is going to get close to that.
So I must have missed the story. Brady announced his retirement? I missed it. I did not know.
You believe?
Congratulations, Tom, on a great career. I'm sorry it's over.
Hold on.
Shannon Sharpe just retired you.
Let me ask you a simple question. Do you believe Tom Brady currently, right now, is playing at a higher level than Drew Brees?
I think he could pass Drew Brees in the next 2 games. That's what I think.
Where the hell is Drew Brees going? Did he retire?
Okay.
He has 2 games left too, right?
Okay, he's got 2 games on the road, and Tom's got 2 at home, including 1 against the Miami Dolphins.
And he got 1 against the Buffalo Bills.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, I won't be surprised if he throws 2 against the Bills and 4 against the Dolphins. I just won't be surprised.
How many are you going to throw against Carolina?
Well, who?
Drew.
Oh, I don't know, but he's got 2 fairly hard. At Tennessee is not easy.
No.
He might not throw any there.
Yeah, I mean, you want to bet? Hold on. Did you just see what D-Watt did?
Yeah, okay, we'll see about that. Okay.
I'm penciling him in for 2
Okay, my turn.
Okay.
So, I will concur with your big picture takeaway on Drew Brees, and I am with you. I went out of my way when I was a columnist at the Chicago Tribune to go up to Northwestern one Saturday because I just had to check out this kid at Purdue named Drew Brees. I just wanted to see what he looked like. And he looked smallish, and he didn't have much of an arm, so little man without a big arm, I'm thinking, I don't know. He was pretty athletic. He could move around a little bit because he's a pretty good athlete.
He was, yeah.
And he was very competitive because he loves to compete at basketball or tennis or whatever. He's hard to beat in any game of skill for a little side wager.
Right.
Okay, so I saw all that operating, but I didn't see Tom Brady. I didn't see Aaron Rodgers. I didn't see Joe Montana, even for a small man. And then, to your point at San Diego, I just didn't see much of anything.
I didn't either.
I didn't see that coming, which is why Sean Payton, I'm sure he's got a big ego, as he should have. He's earned the right to have a big ego. But I think he takes a lot of credit for having made Drew what he is.
He should.
Okay, because he's still a little man without a big arm.
Right.
And yet, how they do this is shocking to me. How they just it's machine-like how they manufacture touchdown passes, especially in that dome.
Yeah.
Okay, now back to Brady's his tweet. It was not your typical, classy, way to go, Drew kind of tweet.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It came off like a little jerky, if you will. It came across like there was a little psycho Tom operating in there where that supremely proud, crazy competitive guy couldn't help himself when he hit send because he was basically saying, congrats, Drew, but it ain't over.
Right, exactly.
That's what he was saying.
Yes.
Congrats, Drew, but don't forget about me. And he wasn't talking to Drew. He was talking to everybody else.
Yep.
It wasn't about Drew. It was about he reminding everybody, I'm not done yet.
Right.
And the other part, the flip side of this was, I was shocked at how Drew reacted after the game because I thought he would go more Brady-esque and say, look, this is all nice, but we have much bigger goals this year.
Okay.
This is about us getting to that Super Bowl and winning that Super Bowl.
Correct.
And I thought he would make the whole postgame about, yeah, we're proud of this for this small moment
Right.
here, but we got so much more to
Right.
do. And instead, he embraced the
Back.
moment like it was over, like he broke a record. Look, this is so weird right now because it's not like Barry Bonds passing Hank Aaron, 755 home runs, where Hank is long gone and there's nobody on Barry's tail, right?
Right. Skip, I was debating with a guy this morning. He was talking about the record. He said Tom Brady and Drew Brees going back and forth with his touchdown kind of reminds you of '98 when Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa. I say it's not even close. I say because baseball records are storied. They mean something.
Okay.
That home run record, that consecutive games, nobody can tell you off the top of their head, Skip, how many rush yards did Emmitt Smith have? Or how many receiving yards did Jerry Rice have?
true.
But the baseball, Skip,
Okay.
that means something.
Okay, so Drew came across last night like he sees the finish line, like maybe this is his final year. And I'm sure they are just driven. They're on a mission
Right.
to get even for what happened to them in the NFC Championship game and get to that Super Bowl.
Right.
So I get that, but he didn't make it about that. He made it about him after the game, and it shocked me because it might be a last hurrah. Like, I got this even for a moment, so I'm going to be proud of it at least for tonight.
Right.
Okay, now let's get back to these two marks that sit here at 541 for Drew and 538 for Tom Brady. Tom is also trying to remind everybody between the lines that his 538 are far more impressive than Drew's 541. Because remember, Drew Brees has played 10 fewer games, this is only regular season we're
Right.
talking about, 10 fewer games than Tom Brady, and thrown 167 more passes than Tom has in his regular season career. So think about this, 10 fewer games than Tom, 167 more attempts than Tom. Why is that? Because Drew plays in a pass-crazy offense directed by one of the best play callers in football, who is just he is head over heels in love with throwing the football, Sean Payton, right?
Yep.
And to your point, he's playing in a climate-controlled dome with one of the loudest crowds in the country.
Right.
And it can just explode with touchdown passes on that fast track.
Right.
Once he gets going like he did last night, like Frank Reich said after the game, once he does this to everybody here, once he gets going, there's really not much you can do about it, right?
I mean, that was his 25th game in Skip, in which he's had 4 touchdown passes and 0 interceptions.
Okay? So think about this. Drew Brees in that dome has thrown 272 of his touchdown passes. On the road, just 189. Not bad, but not great. Tom Brady at home has thrown 264 touchdown passes. On the road, he's thrown 274. So he's better away on the road than he has been up in Gillette, which is not ideal conditions, summer or winter, because you get rain or snow or wind, or as you well know, as you pointed out.
Right.
Okay? So the point is that Brees, you have to devalue his achievement, not his overall achievement in his career, but those numbers. Like, I'll take Brady's 538 over his 541 right now, and I'm here to tell you, Brady is saying, I'm going to play 3 more years. You're trying to retire him now, and you think he'll go somewhere else.
Right.
Well, this is just beginning. Like, this didn't end last night. It's only just begun. That's what Brady's tweet is trying to remind you.
Probably so, Skip, but I just think but the question I have for you, do you believe Tom Brady is playing at a higher level currently than Drew Brees?
No.
No, he's not.
But let's talk weapons, can we?
Yeah.
Why is Tom not playing at a high level?
Right.
He has no Michael
So who they gonna
Thomas.
but Skip?
He has no. Do you see what Michael Thomas has done in his 4 seasons?
Yeah.
He has the most catches in the National Football League over the last 4 years. Over the last 4 years.
Ever.
And he has the 6th most touchdown catches over the last 4 years in the league.
Right.
So that helps Drew's total.
Right.
And plus, Tom doesn't have an Alvin Kamara because Kamara really helps Drew. He's the 2nd leading receiver on this team the last 3 years.
But Skip, that goes to my point why Drew will end this record. Where are these weapons that Tom is going to get?
Well,
Mike Thomas just signed. Mike Thomas is in his 4th year. Mike Thomas is not going anywhere. Those guys that he have, Skip, let me Taysom Hill was a quarterback. Now he's a jack. They play him at a Wildcat quarterback. They're handing the ball. They're throwing the ball. He's blocking punts. He's everywhere.
Okay.
So they find so many different ways to get him the ball.
Okay.
Sean, listen, I think people have this perception that Sean Payton they see on the sideline. He's nothing like that. He's more Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. He just has a softer appearance. But that's why, there was a report that Jerry Jones was trying to make him. Jerry Jones and Sean Payton love control. Sean Payton ain't gonna be putting up that. Whatever with Jerry doing,
Seems like
agree.
you know Sean. Sean ain't gonna have that.
he wouldn't have it.
So
Jerry would have to concede everything to him, kind of the way he did with Parcells, but in the end he
snatched it back. So Skip, this is why I believe that Drew will, because I believe he's playing at a high level now. And you mentioned the conditions in which he play in and the weapons that he has. There's nobody. First of all, there's nobody on his roster. Even Julian Edelman is not better than Michael Thomas.
And Julian's just, we're going to talk about
he
this.
beat up.
He's beat all to hell.
Yes.
I mean, he probably shouldn't be playing right now, and they might have to sit him the last couple of games.
And these guys, a lot of these guys, other than Michael Thomas, you're like, how does Michael Thomas catch 125 balls with 2 games to go? And these other guys are like, okay, Ted Ginn Jr., but Ted Ginn Jr. is mainly a speedster. He's going to run a post and a go. But these other guys that they're throwing to, who are these guys?
How many times was Michael Thomas doubled last night? Every time?
Yeah.
Seriously.
And
he threw him 12 balls and he caught 12 balls.
Right.
He made one nice one-handed
Right.
catch.
And Skip, let this sink in. There have been 11 5,000-yard passing seasons. Drew Brees has 5 of them. Marino, Peyton, Tom Brady, Stafford, and Roethlisberger have the other, and my homeboy.
Okay.
So let that sink in. So Skip, the numbers that he put think about that, Skip. He did miss 5 games this year. So Teddy Bridgewater threw 9 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken, 2 interceptions.
Okay.
So you add that to his total. So now, Skip, I believe Drew will play at the bare minimum. I believe he'll play 2 more years. This thing is going to be pretty close to 580, maybe even 600 touchdowns.
Okay. Last quick point. I believe Tom Brady's tweet was also trying to remind everybody, could you look at the bigger picture? Because if you include the postseason,
Oh, yeah.
Brady is 37 ahead of Drew overall, if you combine regular and post.
Right.
Because in the postseason, Tom Brady's thrown 73 touchdown passes to 33 for Drew Brees.
Right.
Brady's postseason record is 30-10, and Drew's is 8-7. So you can see he's played a lot more games at a much higher level. So I think Tom is saying, remember me?
I mean, but you think about it, 40 playoff games, Skip, that's almost 3 seasons.
Yep.
I mean, there's a 16-game regular season. That's 48 games. And they're going to make the playoffs again. So, I mean, it's hard to discount Brady. Like I said, when you play in those kind of elements, it's just hard. I mean, what he's been able to do, and like you said, he doesn't have a whole lot of weapons now, and I think because there's a little slippage in his play, he can't overcome those lack of weapons like he could early in his career. It didn't matter who Tom. Me, you, and Jenny could go out there. Tom was going to get us the ball, and we going to get some points. But now, as you start to get old, you can't overcome that, Skip, that lack of talent that he used to could overcome.
If I were out there, Tom would trust me more than you. I'd be a slot receiver, and he would trust I would be where I was supposed to be when I was supposed to be.
No, you be like Tom. You be like Jason Witten. It might take you a while to get to that route, Skip.
I don't know. You guys always talk about your speed, but you don't ever give
I'm
me
playing
credit
outside the
around
numbers.
here. I'm a pretty fast runner, so I think I'd be a pretty good receiver.
Well, I played the slot
So you
yourself.
guys know.
They trusted O'Shea. 07 trusted O'Shea.
We're gonna
That
have
old
to
4.840 shape.
No mercy.
Let's talk about LeBron James, shall we?
Yeah.
He was named Western Conference Player of the Week after averaging just less than an assist shy of a triple-double over last week. It is LeBron's 62nd career Conference Player of the Week award and his first this season. Do you want me to tell you that number again, Shannon?
How many?
62nd career Conference Player of the Week award, his first this season. Shannon, I said it twice for you. Did LeBron deserve it?
More than deserved. I wonder what took him so long.
Really?
Hey, Skip, Skip, for me, like when I'm up here, and what I try to do for our viewers at home, I like to put things in context.
Please.
Because when you put it in context, you give them a frame of reference to like, okay, this and that. Do you know Kobe Bryant is second Player of the Week? He has 33. That's second.
Wow.
He almost doubled him up.
Really? The media does
Don't
love
do that, Skip.
LeBron.
Don't do that, Skip. Why would you do that? This ain't got nothing to do with this. Is the NBA.
Oh.
He just, hold on. This man averaged 28, 11, 9, and 9.7. So basically a triple dub.
Wow.
That was the only Western Conference team to go undefeated. I know everybody talking about James Harden did it. James Harden was unbelievable.
He's unbelievable.
Averaging 39.3 a game. Phenomenal. But old GOAT James. And I told you, Skip Bayless, I think you will agree with me, though, Skip. At no point in time last year, and especially after that groin injury, did LeBron James look as explosive as he does right now. LeBron James is on a mission, and I told you this. See, everybody's surprised, like, look how great LeBron played. I told you I foretold.
You did?
I foretold of stories. That's what I am. I'm a storyteller, Skip. Yes.
You're a seer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I told you what. I said, Skip, y'all, Hazonia blocked his shot, run it back. I mean, you just, the low lights, and you still.
You want to see it now? I'd love to see it.
And you still bring up the man low light. But Skip, he's playing unbelievable. Yes, he deserved Player of the Week. He's been playing unbelievable, and he doesn't low manage. Just imagine, can you imagine if LeBron James could play every other game or no back-to-backs?
Oh,
He
I know.
said, look here.
I like
He
people
said, I
that
don't know
play.
how many, it's kind of like, he said, I don't know how many games I have. Like I said, Jenny, my age, I'm 51, gonna be 52 in June. I only got about 25, 30 summers left. See, that's how I don't measure years, I measure summers. Because summers bright, sun comes out. I only got about 25, 30 left. So LeBron James said, I don't know how many more NBA seasons I got. And the ones that while I'm playing, if I'm healthy, I'm gonna go out there and give people that work. I ain't take no load manage. I don't do that. Because, there might be some kid that scrunged up his money, sold lemonade, cut grass, mowed, collected tires or something, saved up all his little pennies, like my grandma say, pennies, to come see me play. And here I am sitting on the bench. Nothing wrong with me, but I just want to load manage on the potential of I might, save some. No, that ain't what we do.
I don't want to hear about another pull groin.
Yeah, hold on, time out. Did you worry about a pool going with Michael Jordan? When he played 9 seasons of 82 games and another season with 80, when he was how old was Michael? He played all 82 games in at the age of 40. And I didn't hear Skip Bayless say one time about anything him getting hurt. Now the man want to play, and he putting up historic numbers. He and AD, they're not just great. They're on a historically great pace. And now y'all want to minimize it. Here we coming. We want what's rightfully ours. The Larry O'Brien Trophy is going for to his rightful place.
Really?
El Segundo. It's going to be in El Segundo.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm going to get me a picture with it.
El Segundo, yeah.
Huh. So I'm thinking back to this past week, and wasn't it at Orlando that LeBron got body bagged by Bamba?
25-10, he had a triple dub.
He got body bagged.
No,
right,
he did.
Right at the rim, he got body bagged, and I'm surprised he sprang back to life in time to play on Friday at Miami. Right?
Hold on. If I'm not mistaken, had Miami lost a home game this year?
No.
Who hung that L on them?
The Lakers finally did.
What you mean?
So what happened, given Western Conference Player of the Week, what happened in the first half at Miami? Help me out. The Western Conference Player of the Week, and I put big quotes around it, had 7 turnovers in the first half. It's hard to have 7.5.
No.
And I got to wonder if LeBron went back to South Beach and maybe stayed up a little too late the night before, because it happens to everybody
we don't do that.
when they go to South Beach. You do that. You do that.
I'll go do that.
I know, that's what I'm worried about.
Maybe you don't do that, but he is capable of doing that when he goes back to Miami. And he looked like he was completely out of it for a whole half, and they trailed 59-51 at halftime. And LeBron said right after the game, my teammates got on my, excuse my language, ass. They got on my ass, he said after the game, and they told me I'm being too passive. He was just a little, a little wiped out.
No, it wasn't and that's what I told you, Skip. I said sometimes I think he goes out of his way to try to get AD and others involved without looking for his shot. You can do 2 things, and he started doing that in that third quarter, in the fourth quarter, and we got out of there with a win.
Yeah, you got out of there barely with the win because you were up 8 in the fourth quarter with 3:26 to go.
Yeah.
I watched this game, and I'm thinking, this is over, and I told I can probably turn this off, and then I'm kind of, I got the remote. I'm like, she said, change the station. We got to watch something else.
Yeah, what did you want to watch?
I'm like, hold on. Again, you got to hold on.
You was hoping.
No, I wasn't hoping. I was just amazed because LeBron took 1 shot in the last 3:26 of that game, a 17-foot sort of fall-away jumper, and he missed it. And here came the heat.
Yeah.
So LeBron was not able to close, and with 4.2 seconds left, guess who had the ball in his hands? And a couple of Lakers kind of ran together, and all of a sudden, Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Butler had a 3 to tie, and it was a pretty good look. It was a 3 to tie the game, and I was stunned by it. And Anthony Davis recovered in time to at least lunge sideways and get a little hand up.
DPOY,
Whoa.
Defensive Player of the Year.
You know
AD.
what? You know what? He was, how can I say that? WCPW. He was Western Conference Player of the Week.
No, he wasn't.
WCPW was Anthony Davis.
Anthony's already been there twice, Skip.
Yeah.
But let this sink in for a second. We went to Miami. We may or may not have partook in the Miami scene.
You may or may not have.
And guess what we did, Jenny? We hopped the flight to went to see Bronny win the MVP
did.
against his
Right.
alma mater.
And you know what? I got no issue with that
That was
whatsoever.
awesome.
He deserved to go there. He should have gone there. I'm good with that.
That was
I'm
great.
sure it was hard
And
on
then-
him.
And then guess what, Jenny? We came back and went to the A. And you know what happened to the A? Magic City, here we come. Oh, we throw that thing right.
So
Make it rain.
let's talk about what
Make it
happened in
rain.
the A to the quote-unquote Western Conference Player of the Week. The Atlanta Hawks are now 6-21, which is tied for the worst record in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Only Golden State is worse in the NBA.
Yeah.
6-21 are
Right.
the Atlanta Hawks. And the Lakers barely prevailed in this
You
game.
know, barely.
Because LeBron in the fourth quarter went 1 for 4 from the three-point line and 1 for 2 from the free throw line, and the Lakers shot it very poorly, and here came those lowly Hawks and actually made a game of it. Once again, a game of it.
What did you say? Hold on. What did you say about the Cowboys? What does everybody say about the Cowboys? The Cowboys get everybody's best. What do you think the Lakers get?
Okay? But the Hawks don't have much of a best to give
They got
back.
Trae Young, who's like fourth in the league in scoring. And you see them threes LeBron was hitting?
Yeah.
Ooh, Jenny.
So here we go again. LeBron James with 15 seconds left in this game, 15.2 to be exact. He goes to the free throw line. It's a 2-point game. If he makes both, it's over.
It was over there
It's
anyway.
over.
It's over.
It's over. It was not over
Is it
anyway.
whatever?
And what happened with the first free throw? Whoops, LeBrick.
Oh.
Ooh, that was almost like that had air ball.
But you see this one?
Oh,
Hey, we already saw
that was
man.
it. We could see that one all day.
We already saw
Come on,
that.
LeBron, make it. Come on, LeBron.
You do realize
You got to get it over the rim to make it go through the
You
rim.
do realize, hold on, that's not 2 missed shots. You do know that's the same one that
That
you got to
was
look.
the same free throw
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
he did make the second one. But now it's a 3-point game, and guess what happens at the other end? All of a sudden, Cam Reddish winds up with the ball in his hands in the corner, the far corner, and there you go, thanks to Vince Carter. That's a wide open 3 thanks to, it was LeBron's man. Wasn't it LeBron over there? LeBron, you got to get out there. He didn't even play defense
Of
on
course,
Cam Reddish.
Because that's Cam Reddish.
Wait, that's the Western Conference Player of the Week is LeBron
Hold on.
James, and he didn't even get
Hold on,
out
Skip,
on the shooter.
Skip.
Cam Reddish made a bunch of those at Duke now.
Hey,
He won
no, he
the
didn't.
game at Florida State.
Yeah, he
with the
won
three.
one game.
Yeah.
But think about it. And everybody, and remember, his team, the rookie class said he's most likely to be rookie to have the greatest
That is
success
true.
long term.
Yeah.
But with LeBron didn't even move.
He didn't even move
because you
because
know why?
at-
Because he ain't gonna make. He ain't about that.
Year 17, he's not going to play a lot of defense.
No, just hold on.
Yeah.
Hold
Pick
on.
your spots.
Where's our defensive rating?
Yeah.
We're still top 10 defensive rating.
If
when he
that goes in, the Hawks are going to overtime.
2 of 7. When LeBron guarded a man on Sunday, they were 2 of 7.
Huh. So I think I just demonstrated what a bogus award
No,
this
this is
was.
good. Skip, don't do that.
It's fraudulent.
No, hold on. Skip, can I interest you in 28, 11, and 10? Can I interest you that in 3 and 0?
The takeaway numbers always look good for LeBron, but you have to read between the lines. You have to see the 7 turnovers in the first half. You have to see the no defense. on the
Whoa.
last shot.
Hold on. Now, Jenny, here's somebody when I say look at Dak Prescott, what he did in the first 3 quarters. Jenny, are there 4 quarters in a football game?
Yes.
Are you allowed not to play the 4th quarter? Okay, he had 7 in the
Did you
first half.
just
What he
put
did?
Dak Prescott in the same conversation with LeBron
think
James?
so.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Stop it.
They do belong in the same conversation.
I meant Bronny James.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Bronny James and
Yeah.
Dak in the same
Yeah,
set.
because Dak is clutch, LeBron not so much.
Don't do that, Skip.
And he's got the late game free throw demons. They're just eating him alive.
What about them late game threes that he hitting from the Lonaga? If you're from
I
Atlanta,
don't-
you know.
I
Hit
don't.
one from the Bluff and Cascade.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
Well-
Look, you watched the game Sunday?
I did.
So you saw them deep threes he was
The
hitting? Skip?
Lakers, he made 1 in the fourth quarter. He was 1 for 4.
They call it the logo LeBron.
Really?
He hitting from the logo to Hawk.
Well, the one logo I keep looking at is the free throw percentage for the year,
Oh, that
and it has
one.
plummeted to
Yeah, where we at?
68.3%. Last year he was 66.5, and you bet me he'd be 75 or above. So now he's got to hit like 100 straight to get back to 75.
All of them.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shannon.
Yeah.
You might as well just pay
Man,
up.
this is your joke,
Might as well
man.
pay up.
But you know what, Skip? I mean, you couldn't give Superman all the superpowers.
Yep.
I mean, he got X-ray vision.
That is true.
I mean, but you couldn't give him a Batman belt. And
You know what?
you couldn't give him everything.
That is true.
He can't swim like Aquaman. I mean, just imagine you gave Superman all the superpowers.
He is a flawed superhero.
Don't do that,
LeBron
Skip
James.
Bayless. Stop.
Flawed.
Stop.
Yep.
Even everybody. Superman had kryptonite.
Yep.
Fonzie had liver. Everybody got a weakness. Every man got a weakness. So everybody got a vice, Jenny. Jenny is shopping, online shopping.
I didn't know Fonzie.
My bad, I used to.
Don't call me out on that.
I didn't know Fonzie
Love
was
it.
a superhero.
No, I'm just saying, but everybody got a weakness. Every man got a vice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't got,
What's yours? You want to admit it since it's mine out?
I might have made a couple of purchases over the last couple of weeks.
Oh, a couple nice things for
Couple of
yourself.
nice things.
Treat yourself.
That might be
Everyone's got a vice.
making their way onto the ground.
The only weakness I see in you is debating.
No mercy.
The Cowboys had no problem dismissing the Rams on Sunday. After the game, Dak Prescott and Sean Lee both credited the performance to Jason Garrett's motivational speech to the team on Saturday night. No laughing, Skip. Come on. Sean Lee said it was the best one he has ever heard Garrett give. Shannon, how much impact do you believe this speech
Had a huge impact.
Huge impact.
Because, Skip, look, I think the biggest thing is that they're not used to hearing this kind of fire and brimstone speech from Red, Jason Garrett. And so it had to play some because this is the best we've seen them play. This was the best game that the Cowboys have played thus far this year, and it was against a team that had been playing very, very well. So we got to give him credit. We got to stop looking for reasons to blame him when the Cowboys don't play well, instead of giving him credit when they do. And I thought they played extremely well. Now, maybe the Rams were overvalued, but that's another story. This is not about them. It's not a topic about them. So I'm going to
made
give
it.
No, I didn't. I'm gonna give Jason some credit, Skip, because I thought he did a great job of getting this team ready to play. Whatever his tactics were, it worked. Now, will it work again this week or the week after if they make the playoffs? Who knows? But for one game, for 1 week, whatever he said, whatever buttons he pushed, whatever levers he pulled, it worked. So, time for you and everybody out there to give Red the credit he deserves. So let me hear you say it. A round of applause for Mr. Jason Red Garrett.
Coach Clapp. Clap, Coach Clapp. What Jason Garrett did best came on Sunday when he clapped his tail.
Oh, man. Good.
You know what? He butt slapped like there was no tomorrow. And I was impressed because I've never seen him butt slap as hard as he did on Sunday. Way to go, Red.
What about the video show?
Okay. I guess so. I hope it helped, but now I'm reading Dak's quote. He gave us the story about him playing baseball and what it means to be a team and about having each other's backs. Playing baseball?
Yeah.
So I looked it up because I didn't think Jason played baseball at Princeton, where he was a very good college quarterback. But he did play, he was all district or something in baseball.
Where? Is that Dakota?
No, in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I don't know. I don't know anything about his baseball career, and I don't know what story could be that inspirational from baseball transferring to football. But I hope it worked. You know, I hope.
It's about a team, Skip, and you having your brother's back, knowing that he can count on you, knowing that when things get tough, you got someone next to you
who can
that's
pick you up.
Yes.
That's correct. And Sean Lee said, it's one of the best speeches I've ever heard from him. Well, I think they haven't heard any from him, so if it's one of the best from him, that's probably not great, but okay. So I did actually sense a pulse in Jason Garrett after the game, if we could see what he said in the locker room, and look who's looking over his shoulder, and look who's looking over that shoulder, if we could see this video, please.
Hey, listen up, just a hell of a job, guys. That's a hell of a job. It started on Monday when you came in, the way we practiced all week long, your mindset and your mentality to come to work. To making a one-day season. That's what we did all week long. And then we made it a one-game season. Okay, we knew what it was going to be all about. You guys got your mind right, your spirit right, and your body right to play the way we played. Okay, we talked about recapturing the DNA of our team, about team. Team was on display today. We talked about recapturing the DNA of our team. Toughness was on display today. The physical toughness and the mental toughness was all over our football team. Hell of a job, you guys. Hell of a job. You guys know where we are, though. You guys know where we are. We're right back at it. We talked about it all week long. This one's done. Now it's tomorrow. Yes. Tomorrow's a one-day season. Yes. Big time job, guys. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Surprised Jerry interrupted.
Did you see Jerry?
Yo, Jerry.
Yeah. And then I thought Jerry was going to nod off for a second.
Then I saw Jerry.
Jerry Jr. is looking over Jerry's shoulder, so he's checking out what the lame duck coach is saying.
They never miss an opportunity.
They do not miss
right
an
there.
opportunity. Right in the
know where that
line of
camera's
fire. They know where the camera is. They position themselves photogenically perfectly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They get it.
But Skip, you saw that? He said, this is the DNA. That's what he was talking about. This is the DNA of this team.
I do like that part. But
that's what he gave you.
Okay, here's the problem. If Jason made it a one-day season and then a one-game season, how far can you take that? You take it, okay, so that worked last week.
Yeah.
Well, now this is the week,
right?
So you're going to make this a one-game season because you just made last week a one-game season.
If I'm Jason Garrett, this is what I tell him. I said, everything we work for has come down to this. If somebody would have told you at the beginning of the season, our season's going to come down to one game against the Philadelphia Eagles, our most hated rivals over the last couple of years. This is it. This is the moment. This is why you lift all those weights. This is why you run all those laps. This is why you eat the way you eat. Everything that we want is right here for the taking. Let's go take this, men. Let's go back and be NFC East champs when we get on that plane and head back to Dallas. Now let's go do it.
Can I send you to Philadelphia on Saturday night? I'll pay your way there if you'll do that, and if they will let you. Shannon Sharpe, he could light the biggest bonfire under my team that's ever been lit. I would take that. Would you do it?
No,
you would not do it.
I don't want to get involved in
No.
this. But I would go to Alabama. Coach Saban, come get your boy. Let me talk to the team.
They need a lot of help.
No, they don't.
They need a lot of help.
But
you know what? Jason Garrett should take a tape of what you just said and play it for the team on Saturday night. Shannon Sharpe, one of your biggest haters, says this, and I think they would want to run through the walls of the hotel.
But here's a part of being a great motivator is that you have to be believable. And so when he had to go to something that he could relate to, and he knew they could relate to, and that is team. He's not lifting no weights. He's not eating, and he's not running. He's not doing all these things, but they did.
Okay, and I do like the concept of get back to your DNA.
Right.
Because I've been saying all year, this team's really good.
Their DNA.
Yeah.
Jenny, what's their DNA? We ran the football. See, running the football is about physicality. It ain't about no tricking. We just lined up and we hand-zeked the ball. We lined up and we had Tony Pollard the ball. It's about moving. Yep.
Boy, you're acknowledging Tony Pollard is part of this. I like it.
The very essence of football is about the Dallas Cowboys. Football was about moving a man against his will. You think Aaron Donald wanted to move 2 yards from the line of scrimmage? What about Brockers? What about Fowler?
Wait, did Aaron Donald play on Sunday?
They moved
I don't
him.
remember him. He
That's
was out
who
there?
we are.
Oh, okay.
So you tell them that. Look, you show them a tape. This is who we are at our best.
Good. Love
This is it.
Yep. Okay. I'll take that. Run it 50 times.
Tell them, say, you
I'll
know
take
what? Guys, look here. I'm going to be all the way honest with you. If we don't beat this team by 2 touchdowns, we should be embarrassed. We're better than
I don't know
they
if
are.
I'd go that far. But
We're better than they are. We're more well-coached than they are. We're bigger, we're stronger, we're faster. We're a better team than the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, we put ourselves in this position, but we can get ourselves out of this position in one game.
One game. I love it. Jason, take that tape, splice it with the previous tape, and you got yourself a motivational speech.
Hey,
go for it.
I would do like the Patriots. I can erase this and everything will be forgotten, right? If I erase this, everything is good?
Just like that. It's gone.
I think you can help it. I think we got it. I'll send it to Jason.
No.
He needs you badly.
Dougie P, let your boy come talk to the Eagles.
Oh, you
Really?
want to talk to those guys?
Yeah, I want to talk to the Eagles.
Okay, well, what's the flip side of that speech?
gonna-
Are you
I
going
ain't
to say, you guys aren't good enough, you guys embarrassed yourselves all year, and now you're in a predicament, you're in a quandary that you cannot get out of because a better team is coming to your house and is going to humiliate
That's
you
what you
on
do.
your
You tell
field?
them. Everybody's saying after what they saw Sunday that the Dallas Cowboys is now the best team in football. And they're coming into your building, and they're coming to take something away from you. What they're coming to take away from you is the NFC East title.
Yep.
But it's in our house. We get to control our
Actually,
destiny.
we are the defending champs.
No. But it's in our house. We control this. So when a man comes to your house and try to take something for you, what wouldn't you do to make sure he doesn't get it? But that's what I want.
Okay.
Fletcher Cox, I need you to show up for me. Barnett, Brandon Graham, I need you to show up for me tomorrow.
They're capable.
Everybody's saying, look at our offense. They got Greg Ward, and they don't really have anybody. I want us to block our ass off. Lane Johnson, I don't want DeMarcus Lawrence to seed walk it to him unless it's the coin toss.
Not sure he's going to be able to go, but we'll see.
Y'all, they number.
Yeah.
When we walk off that field, they will remember.
So now you got competing inspirational speakers. And I will take the first
I'm
one.
going to the highest bidder. Who paid?
Seriously.
The second one sounded like it was a bunch of phony baloney.
No.
Yep.
No, they believe. They believe, Skip. They hear what you said. And we're going to talk about this a little later, but nobody wants to face the Cowboys now. A team that lost 5 or 7 games, nobody wants to face because of one game.
Well,
Skip coined a term about 5 years ago. It's called being a prisoner of the moment. And Albert, if I'm not mistaken, he has become the very thing that he despised the most, and that's becoming a prisoner of the moment.
That wasn't a moment. That was 3 hours.
No. The moment has just happened.
a pep talk from you, though. I had a big events. I feel like you could do that on the side, like make some money on
I
the
got
side.
a little side hustle.
Yeah.
Well,
motivational speaking.
my regular hustle take up most of my time.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of free time, but, you know, if needed, I think he's available for hire.
No mercy.
An anonymous NFL exec thinks the Patriots may have held back their defensive game plan when they lost to the Ravens Week 9 this season. The exec said that they would defend Lamar differently if they faced Baltimore in the playoffs, and that if they could shut down the Rams in the Super Bowl last season, then they could do the same with Lamar and the Ravens. Fox Sports NFL analyst and former Patriot James Harrison joining us this morning, but I will start with Shannon on this one. Do you believe there's any truth to this?
Hell no. And it's coming from an exec that doesn't win much because that's a loser's mentality. That's how fans think. Fans sometimes think, well, they lost the game. Well, they weren't playing hard. They might. So were they not playing hard against the Texans? What about Kansas City? You mean to tell me I put this work in and Coach Belichick is not going to give me his best effort forward? Okay. The coaches always demand their players give them their best effort in the meeting room, on the practice field, and come game time. And now a coach is going to hold back? That's disrespectful. And this is, I guarantee you, this exec is on a losing team and has not won much because that's a loser's mentality. Because here's Skip, I've always felt that if I play a team twice, if I lost, I have an advantage because I can have the guys' undivided attention because we lost. And I can show them exactly why we lost. First Super Bowl run, we beat Pittsburgh, we lost the first time to them. We beat Kansas City, we lost the first time to them. Because Mike could go back and point to everything that we did wrong and why we lost the game. So, of course, if they play again, they could possibly lose. The Patriots are well coached. They don't make a whole lot of mistakes. And you have to meet that fire with fire by not making mistakes and playing well. But to suggest that the reason why the Patriots lost is because they gave less than their best effort is foolish. That's crazy. Yeah. That's asinine. And I can't even believe that an NFL exec, would even let that come out of his mouth, Skip, because you know how much time guys put in. You know the effort. James, you know the effort that coaches and players put in a week. And they said, okay, we good. No. We played the Dolphins, Skip, and that we gave it everything we could. They just beat the hell out of us, and Mike had us out the game midway through the third quarter. That wasn't like we didn't give our best effort because we wanted to win. We played them again. We blitzed them. But that didn't have anything to do with it. And so I take offense to this, that he said this, that a team gave anything less than their best effort when the games are so valuable. Skip, it's not like basketball where you can load manage, or baseball when you got 162 games. It's 16. Seeding and even making the playoffs are the utmost, and every game is magnified.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with Shannon. It's no way they came out there and gave less than their best.
Or
I
he
believe
gave less than his, like he kept some things back.
No, it's no way. He's not keeping anything back. You want that number 1 seed. Even though they were undefeated at that time, you still want to hold that number 1 seed. Everybody wants to play at home. It's no way he comes in there with less than his best game plan. I think this so-called NFL exec may have a little bit of inside information that now they believe they have a plan that could be way more effective against him after playing against him and having that happen, you know, the way it did. Now, I think that may be a case, but no one goes into a game plan saying, you know what, I think I may have to see them again, so I'm going to give less than my best. I don't want to give them everything. I don't want to put all the game plan out there so they know, you know, what's going to come next time and they'll be prepared for it. It's no way you're doing that.
So, remember, we're talking about the evil genius of the evil empire here. So is he capable of saying, okay, this time I think I can beat him just playing man-to-man. Next time I'm going to play some zone so Lamar can't run wild on me. You know, like you could switch, you could flip the script on him, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay. So I think there might be a little truth to this, but it is counterintuitive that you're playing a team that you don't want to have to play in their place again.
Thank you.
Right? Like in the end, you don't want to have to go back to Baltimore.
Right.
Of all the teams in the AFC, I would give the Patriots the best chance to win at Baltimore just because of Belichick and Brady in their capability of figuring it out. I think nobody can figure it out better than those two if you give them some time to let it sink in. And now they'll have like a month and a half to
Skip, even with them going in there and, like you said, they did man-to-man and we'll try zone next time. He thought that was his best plan right then. He's not coming in there saying, you know, my better plan would be zone, but I'm going to play man-to-man.
I assume so. But will you give Belichick this? He could be seeing way down the road thinking, I don't know if we could win this game tonight, but if we have to come back here, we'll beat him a second time.
But what happens, Skip?
Possible.
What happens if you got to face Kansas City before you get to Baltimore? Or you got to face the Houston Texans?
Okay, well, it's probable that would be at Foxborough. So, again, we've seen them lose at Foxborough.
Right.
So, right now, they can't score, so they're going to have a hard time. But they're going to have to figure it out on the fly. So, if we look back at this game, what really happened, it wasn't quite as bad as the 37-20 seems because, remember, it was 17-13 at halftime. Not terrible. And 24-20 after three quarters. Then Lamar and company outscored them 13-0 in the fourth quarter, and 37-20 seems pretty bad, right?
Oh, yeah.
The worst stat of this game was Baltimore controlled the ball 37 minutes to Brady's 23 minutes.
Right.
Can't do it. You're not going to beat them. If you let them literally run over you, that's what will happen. And it wasn't Lamar who did the most damage. It was actually Mark Ingram because he went 15 times for 115 yards. Well, that's almost 8 yards a carry against the vaunted New England. That won't work.
Well, I think they might have came into that game plan with the idea of let's do what we can to get the ball out of Lamar's hands unless he's passing the ball so that he's not running on us and make Ingram run the ball. Well, they were able to do that and he did it effectively. So, like I said, I think this so-called exec has a little inside information and they're saying, you know what, next time we see them, you know, we're looking at a game plan that I feel is way better than the one we use.
Could be right. The runaway MVP did not kill them that night because, again, Lamar was 17-23, which is high percentage for 163, a touchdown and no interceptions, but he ran it 16 times for only 61 yards. That's 3.8 a carry. That's not what he usually does to people, right?
Right. But see, the thing is, Skip, for them, it's not so much Lamar, you know, you want him he wants to break off those big runs, but they control the clock. See, they feel as long as we don't turn the ball over, the likelihood of Tom Brady moving the ball, unless it's a short field, because their offense is not as explosive as it used to be, Skip. That's why Coach Belichick is taking more chances, going after punts, or defense playing zero coverage, trying to get short fields for his offense, because he knows they can't consistently move the ball as they once could. So this notion that, it's like, Skip, you remember they lost that game to Miami that year. They had home field. They beat Miami. Denver now has to go to them. They lose. They got to go to Denver. Denver beats them. Last year.
You mean the year they wound up in Denver?
The year they wound up in Denver, yes.
Hey, remember, they had the Jets. They went to overtime. And Belichick won the toss in overtime and deferred.
And they go right down the field
and scored.
Fitzpatrick, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
Goes right down the field and scored. Last year.
Lost.
You think, who cares if we got to go to Kansas City? They weren't trying to lose that game to Miami. Miami just pulled off a miracle play.
It was a miracle.
And they had to go, and they pulled it out. Tom Brady is 20-3 at home in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He would rather The Patriots would rather play at home.
Okay,
I got it. You're not conceding any games, Skip. They're too valuable.
And like the time of possession you said, they got the ball 37 minutes. Their defense is sitting over there rested, ready to go. So as soon as they get in there, they're going 100 miles an hour. The offense, the other team hasn't even got enough time to get into a groove. They ain't out there long enough.
Just what you got to do. You got to throw Brady's rhythm off.
Okay.
Skip.
Well, his numbers weren't terrible. Brady went 30 of 46 for 285. And guess who caught 10 balls for 81 yards? The now forgotten Mohamed Sanu. So that was his peak. After that, he just disappeared.
But think about it, Skip. 10 for 86. That's 8 yards. Nothing. There are no explosive plays. You got to get. 286 on 46 attempts.
I know. And guess who went 4 for 4 in the red zone? Lamar did.
Exactly.
Brady went 2 for 4 in the red zone. Ball game, right? And what play turned that whole game around on Lamar's opening drive? They got it down to 4th and 3 at the 6, and they were stymied, and they said, we got to kick a field goal and just go 3.
Lamar said, no, let's go.
Okay, no.
No, it was a penalty.
They jumped offside.
They jumped offside.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick's defense had a neutral zone violation on a field goal, and it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't do that.
And the thing that
and I will bet you next time they won't do that.
And that's why they wouldn't hold back, because they did all that at home with no noise. You think they want to have to do that in Baltimore?
That's a good point.
No mercy.
According to Fox Bet, the Cowboys are 2.5-point favorites against the Eagles when they travel to Philly on Sunday. Both teams are 7-7, and both are also coming off wins this past weekend. James Harrison is still with us. So, James, who has the edge in this matchup?
I really hate to say this, but the Cowboys.
Just give it up.
Yeah,
give into it.
I got to give into it this
Do
time,
it.
only because it is Philly. You know, Carson Wentz is not really playing anywhere where he needs to. He don't even have the weapons that he had at the beginning to even try and throw to. You never know what you're going to get, you know, with how the defense is going to respond. You know, another thing is just his actual, you know, pocket awareness when he's going to scramble. He's losing fumbles. He almost lost. Well, he did lose one.
He did.
In the fourth quarter against Washington,
Yep.
which could have cost him the game, but the defense was able to stand up.
True.
I think the best thing that's happened to the Cowboys actually is Dak's finger. I think that's why they're running more, so that he don't have to go out there and they don't have him throwing so much. Last week they got the formula together. Feed Zeke the ball, let him get 25, 30 touches, keep Dak around 25 throws, and, you know, go out there and let your offensive line do what it's paid to do, let your running back do what he's paid to do, and let your quarterback manage the game.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I bet
Sounds
you would
good to
take
me. Any way possible, I'll take it.
Look, like I said yesterday, I don't know how this offense, they're holding the Eagles offense together with elbows, glue, and popsicle sticks. I mean, there's only so much you're going to be able to continue to do when you're running 3 tight ends. Now, I think Whiteside did come back, Skip, but he wasn't a heavy contributor. The guys, Boston Scott and Greg Ward Jr., 2 guys that started the season on the practice squad, is now heavy contributors going into an opportunity where you have a chance to, like, seize the lead in the division, for the division, the NFC East. But the Cowboys coming off the performance. Now, we haven't seen them put together performances like this in back-to-backs against quality teams. Even though the Eagles are struggling, I still believe they're a quality team, Skip. This is the best performance that we've seen from the Cowboys all year. It was better than the Eagles, even the one they beat the Eagles at home, Skip. This was more impressive, because this was total domination. Because they didn't get a whole lot of turnovers. I mean, they got 1 turnover, but it was how the offense just imposed their will. There was no short fields. They was marching the ball. You need to go 97? Okay, here we go. Dak said, okay, let's go 97, guys. Touchdown. We need to go 80? Oh, come on, guys, let's go 80.
90.
There was nothing the Rams could do. But at some point, I just wonder how much Wentz is going to have his best game, Skip. The defense is going to have their best game of the year. And with that, best game offensively, best game defensively, and they can make it a ball game. Otherwise, Skip, Dallas, I'm afraid Dallas might win this thing in a walk away.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not accept this man's poor mouthing. He's trying to set my team up for a fall. He wants my team to fall victim to fat cat syndrome the way they have all year long, and it ain't gonna work. My team has officially launched. It's not going to listen to what you have to say.
I gave him the pep talk.
Pep talk. Yeah, we'll take the pep talk. Then you gave Philly another pep talk. And you're somehow trying to sabotage them psychologically, and I will not allow it. Not this week. I will not allow it. My team is impervious to all of your machinations over there because you're trying. I know you. I know what you're trying to do. We got Greg Ward Jr.
I mean, really?
We're down to Boston Scott. We don't have anything. You got Zach Ertz. We don't have Zach Ertz.
Y'all got Amari
We got
Cooper.
Jason Witten.
Y'all got Amari Cooper.
Who
Right.
he runs like 3 miles an hour. Jason Witten.
He can still catch.
that touchdown.
That terrible throw Dak did, and he still
Got
caught
in the
it.
end zone.
Yeah.
It looked good.
You look at go.
Jason Witten's better than you ever were, but that's a whole nother.
Oh,
Whoa. Shots fired.
Fight
That's
words.
the long term, but not the
Shots
short.
Fight
fired.
words.
Zach Ertz, on some Sundays, I think he's the best tight end in football. I know you can go Kittle, you can go Kelsey,
Travis Kelce.
whatever, but this guy can play, and this guy has
that's
a
no doubt.
wavelength with Carson Wentz. When Carson Wentz is in doubt, when push comes to shove, he just looks for 86 and flings it, and 86 often goes and snatches it. And the backup tight end, the second, he's like the 1A, Dallas Goedert. He's pretty good, man. He's hard to corral. He's hard to deal with. So don't give me that they're out of weapons. When you have those two, you got two good weapons. And Miles Sanders, the more I watch him, the better he gets.
Okay.
He runs hard, and he runs with a Tony Pollard-like burst.
yeah, he's more Tony Pollard than.
So you're trying to pump them up.
I'm not trying to pump them up. I'm just saying Philly at home, they're good.
The
They're
weather's
proud.
not even going to be bad. It's going to be
It's
50
gonna be
degrees
good.
and
Weather's
sunny.
like summertime.
That's
Yeah,
going to
exactly.
be great.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, maybe God, thank you, God. Maybe he's
Look,
on our side.
Skip, it's going to be simple.
Right.
The Eagles need to create turnovers. When they get the ball into the red zone, they're going to have to score touchdowns and can't kick the field goals. And they're still going to have to hope Dallas is off a little bit. Skip, when you look at Dallas, Dallas is coming in healthy. They're playing really, really well after last week. Now, the Eagles...
Well, we don't have Wolf Hunter. I mean, we don't.
Skip.
I mean, he was really good
It
last
took
year.
2 game-winning drives to beat Eli and the Giants and Haskins in Washington. That's what it took.
Okay, but you know what? Carson Wentz has figured something out late in those 2 games because there were 2 really good drives to win the game.
But here's the thing.
You can't take that away.
No,
you can't discount
But
it.
what you can't do with the Cowboys is let them front run. That's what happened last time. Remember what happened last time? They got out 14-0 and then they ain't look back. The Cowboys will kick dust up in your face if you let them get a lead on you.
Yeah.
Is that when you hold them close, and the closer you get, like you start constricting them,
Yeah.
you start.
Really?
Pressure.
Like the Rams tried to constrict him. It was
don't
7-7.
like thinking about
No.
And all of a sudden, Dak said with broken finger
Like
and
old-
all, he said, I got this.
Like old
I got
Trubisky.
you.
Like old Trubisky did. Like old Mitchell
Dak
Trubisky.
said.
Like old first cousin, old Kinfolk Kurt.
Yeah.
Like old Josh
All
Allen
of them.
did.
Just keep going.
Yeah,
I,
old
want-
Josh Allen.
I want the Cowboys to remember painfully all those humiliating, just agonizing Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. What are you doing? Who are you? I didn't know who
New
they
England.
were, and all of a sudden they
The
lost.
Jets.
You know what? Their game on Sunday might have been the most impressive game of the whole football season, the whole NFL season, because that was a powerhouse.
You mean of all teams?
All teams.
No,
All
no,
teams.
stop.
I
You
mean,
even
think
forgot
about
about
that.
Lamar.
I mean, now the team that just hung 44 on the Rams is the same team that went 1-3 against the AFC East.
What happened?
I agree. Do you have a cold? You're sniffing a lot.
Understand. That's the team.
Okay,
I mean,
I got you.
Some people,
I agree.
Some people clear their throat.
You know,
Some people,
Yeah.
you're trying to figure out where you.
I'm just saying. So I just don't want you to get all carried away. I mean, look, Skip, they played good. For 4 quarters Sunday, they played the best they could
It
possibly
was a
play.
tour de force.
Yes.
It was what they should have been all year, all
Oh,
too
so
long.
they're going to repeat that on Sunday?
I think they launched. I think they got this. They're going to win in spite of red, as you call it.
No. Hold on.
Gonna give
What
another
What
speech.
about, what about that pep talk?
It went in one ear and out the
No,
other.
that's not what they
Gonna
said.
do a better
That was
one.
all about Dak and Zeke saying, okay, we're sick and tired of this. We're sick and tired of people saying we got bet all the way from a 3.5-point home favorite to a 2-point dog, as in we are dogs. And they were sick and tired of hearing how they missed 19 tackles against Mitchell Trubisky. And
Oh,
company.
Trubisky.
Yeah.
Oh, got him.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Oh,
And
Trubisky
they were
gave it to him.
sick and tired of the Rams embarrassing them by running them off the field in a playoff game, and they said, okay, watch this.
Don't forget
We're
Josh
gonna
Allen.
pay you back.
Don't forget Josh Allen.
Oh, we get all of them. Name
And
them.
Sam
You can
Darnold.
go the whole
Oh,
year.
Sam.
Oh, you didn't-
AFC
Right.
player of the week for
keep
Sam
going.
Darnold.
Keep going. I agree with all that you just said. Dallas needs to hear you say that.
What?
Yeah, because Philly, what do they say about the wounded animal? That's the most.
I thought you would be very happy that we're all in agreement on Dallas.
Well, he's not. He's trying to flim-flam.
That ain't how
He's
it's
just
gonna-
trying to, he's saying what he feels like.
No,
They
he's
should go in
not.
there and dog him.
He's not.
Yeah.
You know,
Trying to set us
looking
up.
at what
Now,
they
if we had Alshon and we had D-Jack and if the big tackle, the right tackle, Lane Johnson, if he was 100%, okay, I'm feeling good offensively. But Skip, now you've seen the Eagles' defense. Now you see what they're capable of doing. Eli had 200 plus at the half.
Listen, their front seven might be as good as any front seven in the league.
In college,
No, in the league. In
they
the
have not played
National
up to it.
Football
They haven't
League.
played up to that this year.
Well, but that on paper, I look at them, I say,
Cleveland
him
on
and
paper
him.
is supposed to be something too, but
Yeah.
Okay. No, I appreciate your honesty. You're just being honest, and you're grudgingly honest because you don't love
What
it.
about me? I ain't honest?
No,
that's wow.
you're disingenuous.
Oh, I'm disingenuous
Yeah,
now.
right.
Oh, I'm
You're
disingenuous.
disingenuous. Well, I had to turn the tables on you.
Skip, you know good well, given what the Eagles are going to trot out there offensively, the Cowboys should be favored in this game. The Cowboys should
They're
win this
favored
game.
by 2.5.
I thought
They
it should have
should
been
be.
more than that, but
All right,
yeah.
2.5 points.
2.5
Is
right
my
now.
team better? Yes, it's better. Should my team go in there and win? Yes, it should. Now it just has to go do it. And what scares me is we've seen them have flashes of brilliance, and it's the "are we there yet" syndrome where they're like, okay, like at Chicago, they drive down 90 yards for a touchdown. Is it game over? Is that enough?
Nope.
Did we do it?
Nope.
Okay, so for once, for 4 quarters, they just buried the Los Angeles Rams, who were as
They
hot
did.
for 2 games as any team in the league. The Rams had gone to Arizona and just buried them. It was 34-0 after 3
Arizona.
quarters. And then Seattle, it's not just Seattle.
Right, true statement.
Okay, there we go. Number 1 seed.
Hey, the sun
and
shine
they
on
just
every
took
dog.
them all apart. And then we took them apart, and we are capable of taking Philly apart,
Yeah.
but we have to go do it.
And the Jets and the Buffalo and New England took you, and Chicago took you apart. I mean, look at the quarterback that's beat you.
Thank you.
Sam
Keep
Darnold.
talking. Keep
Josh
talking.
Allen.
You were right.
Say,
But-
you with the
Cousins.
Cowboys.
But here's the thing.
Lay it on
But
thick.
here's the thing.
I want it all.
All the teams that beat you
Yeah.
had all their complements of weapons. They were not missing anybody. I mean, I like to think that minus D-Jack, minus Alshon, minus Lane Johnson, I mean, those are D-Jack is a Pro Bowl player. Lane Johnson is a Pro Bowl all-pro player.
What do you tell me about Carson Wentz? You say he's walking to him,
Yeah.
that he's better than Dak Prescott. I disagree, but you're the one who's been beating me over the head with that. And did you see the 2 balls he threw? Did you see the one to Miles Sanders right up the boundary?
Look at that. I said, how you get that to do? Now, that's what you call throwing a grapefruit through a keyhole. Yeah, only a few people can do that.
That was a rifle shot.
Yeah.
He loves his rifles, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh,
that
yeah. North Dakota.
Yeah, he loves
Yeah,
it.
you try to get Pete on the man. He tried to get Pete on the
Did you
man.
see his, like, what? No, his baby reveal.
Baby
Did you see
reveal.
that?
Yeah, he
did it
get
with-
shotgun.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He tried to get Pete out there, because he hunt and sometimes he had the
Yeah, we
animal.
don't need PETA involved.
Because that's skill.
Fun.
Look at they
I
hunt.
am
He
a
loves
Peter
it. It's
supporter,
just-
though.
Shotguns with baby.
I found it a little
I am
odd,
too.
but
I kind of cringed.
gotta do.
It was
What?
It was like I winced, as in W-I-N-C-E.
Oh, that kind.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Skip,
Trying to be creative.
Wince. But he's got a big arm. He can throw it through a wall.
So what
I just hope
happens
he
if
throws it to us?
the Cowboys lose? Where are you
Oh.
then?
He done. He gonna be.
I don't even
James,
wanna
we
deal
don't
with
talk
Are you
about
throwing
those
your
kind of
jersey
things
back
around here.
away? Or
No,
what?
He
I
ain't
don't even
coming
want to
in
deal
Monday.
with that prospect because it's not going to happen. I've told him all year long, I've been steadfast in my beliefs. We can go beat them there. That's what I've
You've
thought
always
from the
said it.
start, and I don't even want to deal with the negativity that you're trying to.
I'm just asking a question. I'm just asking a
Man,
question.
just
I'm
ask you a
curious.
question. He just asked you a
You know, you
question.
hope for the best, but
I don't
prepare
answer
for the worst.
hypothetical.
Hypotheticals.
You know?
That's what,
Not around
That's
here.
what Coach Garrett always says. I don't answer hypothetical.
No mercy.
Seahawks receiver Josh Gordon has been suspended indefinitely after violating the league's substance abuse and performance-enhancing drug policies. This is the 5th time Gordon has been suspended over the course of his NFL career. So, Shannon, what is your reaction to the news about Josh Gordon?
Skip, I think now we got an insight, an inclination of why the Patriots moved on. I think they had a feeling this was going on or this was coming down the pipeline, and they moved on before. Skip, I remember when I was on your old show
Yep.
back in 2014 when this first broached,
Yep.
and I was angry. Because I'm like, how can someone that's been given so much, given such a great opportunity, with so much God-given immense talent, squander an opportunity like this? How can a guy that has 30, 40, 50, 60 million dollars at his fingertips and just like, no, this is what I want to do? And yesterday I found myself just sad. He can't help it. He has a problem, Skip. It's an illness. It is like cancer. It's like diabetes. It's like any disease that's afflicted. It's afflicted him, and he got his hooks in him, and he cleans himself up for a little while, but he can't stay clean. And the NFL, Skip, the mere fact that the NFL is giving him this many opportunities. You know, Josh Gordon's only 28 years of age.
28.
Jenny said he's been suspended 5 times. I think 2 or 3 of those times have been indefinite.
He's 28.
They're doing everything they possibly can, Skip, but they can't monitor you 24 hours a day. I'm just sad. I just wish he could get with people in his life and he could surround himself with people, and when they see him start to turn left when he should go right or keep straight ahead, they were like, nah, Josh, not today. Because for a short period of time, Skip, he can clean his act up, but he just can't keep it clean. And I'm just sad because Skip, you know, because for me, when I look at it and I'm like, and it took someone that had has a similar situation, and it's like, Shannon, obviously you don't have an addiction, but it's like you're hungry. And you know when you're hungry, you make bad decisions when you're hungry. They say, you know, if you have your Skip, if you want a meal plan, you have a healthy lifestyle, if you have accessible, great food to eat, you're more apt to eat it. It's when you become hungry and you don't have it when you make bad decisions. That's the tug, that's the pull, that's in Josh Gordon that he can't let skip. The man has thrown away 60, 70, 80 million dollars. He has Julio Jones ability. He's 6'3.5", 230 pounds, that could run 4.4. He led the league in receiving one year, Skip, and missed 2 games. That's the kind of ability this young man had. I'm afraid, Skip, and I hope I'm wrong. I'm a guy like, how many chances is enough? NFL, give me as many chances as you can. Skip, I'm afraid that without the NFL, I'm afraid the direction that he's really going to go in. I think the NFL has allowed him to stay clean for as long as he did stay. I'm just afraid, Skip, I'm hurt, I'm sad. I'm big into personal accountability, but he just can't help himself. He just can't help himself.
Which is why I have gone from sad to angry about all this. I've been around Josh Gordon a couple of times, and I liked him a lot. Tom Brady loved this still young man at 28 years of age. He's smart, he's cool, he's fun to be around, and he obviously has an illness or sickness or whatever you want to describe it as.
Correct.
He has an addiction. He's happier high.
Yes.
And we've seen a lot of people in life who are just, in the end, they're just happier, either drunk or high.
Yes.
And they just say, I don't care what God gave me, I'm just happier this way. And he continues to show you, I'm happier this way.
Right.
And the NFL keeps saying, no, you can't do that, so you flunked another test, so now it's 5 times. And to me, I hate to say this, but the NFL keeps enabling him to come back again and again and again, and he just goes through cycles of, okay, I'll play for a while, but that doesn't make me that happy.
Right.
I gotta be happier high. And maybe I can beat the test, and I'm sure he's beaten a whole bunch of them over these many years because he's played a good while.
Right.
And I think back to 2013, there were games when I said, that's a Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We saw he was on an arc in 2013 to be in the Hall of Fame.
The reason why Coach Belichick traded for him, Coach Belichick saw what he did to his team when he was in Cleveland. He went for like almost $2 billion on Coach.
He did. And yet, if you really look back at his career going back to college, he had all these same issues at Baylor right away. And he was a top recruit in the country.
Yeah.
He was, everybody wanted
Lunked out of Baylor. He went to tried to go to Nebraska, couldn't get it.
And then he went to Utah.
Utah, that's where he went.
He went to Utah and didn't play it down because he couldn't even get eligible to play at Utah.
And even, Skip, and even with that, when no matter what your issues are, once you come into the NFL, Skip, you start with a clean slate. And within a year, he was already suspended.
I know.
So, Skip, this is
And then 2 years ago, he's suspended indefinitely, and he wound up out here in an apartment with Johnny Manziel. Yeah. And trust me, they did Hollywood. And it was some wild times, but he knows deep down, oh, they'll have me back at some point.
Well,
okay.
Skip, let this sink in for people at home. If you are, when you do something and the consequences are unimportant to you, or the financial gain that you could reap are unimportant to you, that's an addiction.
It is.
Skip, it doesn't matter that he's going to get suspended. It doesn't matter that he's flushed $60 million. That's not normal behavior. A normal, prudent, rational person says, there's no way I'm going to do this and lose $60 million. There's no way I'm going to lose this in this opportunity to provide for my family because and Josh came from a very similar situation. I'm sure most of the NFL players come from very similar situations, very impoverished situations where we want to make better for our families, make a better life for if we were to have kids, that they're better. Not only do better, but I can tell them and instruct them better than what I was. But for him to forego all of that because he can't, like you said, he would rather be this. He would. And when I heard people, what's wrong with it? Bruh, smoke. Skip. It's like the NFL tells you when they're going to give you the test. They test you one time a year before the start of the season. And if you get popped with marijuana, it's one or two things, you're two Ds. You're either dumb or you're dependent.
I agree. So
he can't, Skip, like I said, I'm huge on personal accountability, but he can't help it. And my heart just broke. I was like, damn.
I got it.
And then he got a PED. So what I'm thinking he knew he was dirty, and then he tried to clean, he tried to mask it.
He did.
So that's what happens. And now it's like, bruh.
That's messy.
I just wish.
Seems like a lot of trouble to go through.
Okay, Shannon Sharpe. Tell me what would happen in any other line of work. If you're working for any other company in this country of ours, if you keep doing that, what happens?
They let you go.
They just let you go. They just say no. Okay? So is that what he needs? Does he need somebody just to say no to him?
Skip, I'm afraid what happened to him if they just say no. But the thing is, Skip, even when the football say yeah, he can't stay, he ends up right back to where he was, back to square one. And I remember, he got into it with a lot of different guys when Chris Carter reached out to him, and he's like, I don't have an addiction. I'm not, bruh. I'm not trying to tell you anything wrong. I'm not trying to tell you anything to hurt you. I'm trying to help you. I know you got to live one day at a time. But Skip, Skip, he's 28. And he's been suspended 5 times. He spent more time away from the game than he spent in the game. And for whatever reason, not the financial, not the fame, not the ability to provide for your family, none of that matters. So that's what that's telling you. When you have an addiction, nothing else matters. Not your family, not fame, not fortune, nothing matters but what you are addicted to. Be it drugs, be it shopping, be it whatever the case may be. And so Josh Gordon is telling you guys, look, I know what I could be if I were to clean my act up, but I'd rather do this.
Remember the last time he got suspended, the Patriots said, we're going to keep him on our side.
Yeah.
Right? They did not cut him.
Right.
And he came back and played for a while. So I know what he's thinking. Okay, so I got popped again.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be gone the whole next football season, but I'll still be only 29 years of age. Somebody will give me another chance. That's what he's thinking.
Yeah. I just feel bad for him. I just wish he could kick it, but he can't. I'm not gonna say he hasn't. He hasn't
yet.
That is true.
And is very capable, but you just hope that he has the support system in
Yes.
place.
Yes.
Because I think all of us have known someone dealing with addiction, and the support is just as important as the treatment. So hopefully he can find that, and we'll be wishing him well.
No mercy.
The Saints made a statement last night, taking down the Colts 34-7 and moving to 11-3 on the season. While New Orleans looks like a conference favorite, Troy Aikman thinks the Cowboys could be the dark horse in the NFC. Aikman said if Dallas plays like they did against the Rams, there is no team that would want to face them because they are so talented on both sides of the ball. Shannon, does Troy have a point about the Cowboys?
What has he seen to make him sure that they can play like that? Because you know in the playoffs, you do have to play, at the bare minimum, you got to play 3 games. Now, it looks like they're going to be a wild card team, so they're going to have to play at the bare minimum. They have to play 4 games.
Okay.
So let me say, for the sake of argument, let's say the 49ers play like they played against the Saints and the Packers. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I could have swore 2 weeks ago this Thursday coming, Troy Aikman at the end of the game says, I don't know how they overcome this.
They can come back.
Come back from this. Now, for the last 3 weeks now, I heard I'm going up a yonder, playing in a loop in the background. The Cowboys are going to meet their maker, Jenny. That's what Troy, I've listened to Troy. Now, after 1 game, Skip, now, so what about after Chicago? What about after Buffalo? So what we've seen them play, we've seen them play more like they play against Buffalo, Chicago, New England, the Jets, than we have seen them play like this.
You've seen more the negative, okay.
So I'm just trying to figure. So I just want to make sure. So if I watch, let's just say I see the Saints play like they played last night, Dallas beating them. Now, the Saints went to Seattle, who's the number 1 seed currently, and beat them without Drew Brees.
That was Teddy's first game.
First
game.
Green,
that was a 33-14 game with 5 minutes to go.
So if Green Bay, which went and had a 31-3 lead over Dallas, so what I'm saying is there's more likely to see the team that's 7-7 as opposed to the team that went 1-0 against the Rams. That's what we're more likely to see. So they say, you know what? We play our best, they play our best. I'll take San Francisco. Seattle played their best, I'll take Seattle. Green Bay played their best, I'll take Green Bay. And New Orleans played their best. Give me New Orleans. I want all of it. I want all you got.
Yeah, good.
And I'm going to clear the deck.
You get
all 38 cases. They play New Orleans. I want all 38 cases.
All of them?
All of it. I'm breaking all 38 cases.
I need
I'm going to have the Mountain Dew truck. I'm going to have the Mountain Dew truck. Beep, beep, beep. Back up and drop out 38 cases right there.
You're going Teddy KGB on me.
Yeah.
Right? Don't splash the pot.
Yeah.
I'm going to have me some Oreo too of it.
You got to tell over there.
Your turn. Take it away.
Thank you. It's my turn.
Yes, please.
Troy is reacting to what I thought was the most shocking outcome of any game the whole NFL season. I don't think anybody, including me, saw that coming because I thought they could win barely, but I didn't think they could win. I didn't think they could be ahead 37-7 on the way to 44-21. It was a tour de force. It was a shocking display of everything I thought they were and you feared they were. Because deep down, you know that what you saw with your own 2 eyes on Sunday at Jerry World is the truth of who they can be when they want to be. And they wanted to be that day. And I don't know what happened the rest of the year. I blame it mostly on the lame duck head coach.
Well, you got to give him credit for that because he's still the lame duck head coach.
Well, if they do what I think they're capable of, he's going to be next year's head coach.
Yeah.
Because his job could get saved inadvertently because the team just takes off and he just keeps clapping.
I'll tell you what they're going to take off. They're taking off on Saturday to go to Philly. But when they're going to come back, they're going to have that L.
Okay. All right. Well, then you don't have anything to worry about.
I don't.
All right. Okay. So this is a moot discussion.
Great.
But I'm going to go on and tell you what's going to happen. Let's do the hypothetical that my team winds up in some playoff game at Drew Brees. Drew Brees came to our place late last year, and we won that game 13-10. We held Drew Brees and that high-flying offense. Michael Thomas was there, and Camaro was there, and everybody was there, and they scored a grand total of 10 points on my defense. We only scored 13, but it was enough to win that game.
But where's that game going to be played?
Okay, well, it's going to be played down there.
And
yeah, my team went down there early. It was early in the Teddy Bridgewater regime, right?
Tell me, yeah.
And my team managed to score 10 points, but my defense held Teddy Bridgewater and company to 12 points.
Teddy K.
Yeah.
That ain't Drew.
Teddy KGB.
That ain't Drew.
Yeah.
Oh, Drew Breezy.
I know. Okay.
The all-time leader in passing yard, touchdown, completion percentage.
Okay. I think my defense likes to play against New Orleans. So I think my defense could hang in there. And I think my offense, if it plays the way it did the other day, what did they finally get back to doing? It's not just running the football. They dominated time of possession.
Yeah.
What did they do best during Dak's rookie run to 13-3 and a near win in a playoff game? They dominated time of possession.
Yeah.
It was always 36-24. And when that happens, you don't get your defense exposed very much because they went up to Lambeau Field and beat Aaron Rodgers soundly because Aaron didn't have the ball very much.
And then what happened? Aaron Rodgers come right there to the very place in your house.
And it took a 56-yard field goal
No, it
and a
didn't.
51-yard field goal to beat me.
And
That's
which you
what it took.
prepared a table in front of your enemy. Skippy, what I do? Drank, had a festive time in your backyard.
Okay.
So this is what I do know. This is what I do know. Of those 7 losses, did the win Sunday make you forget those 7 horrendous losses? I think not.
I think so.
No, sir.
I think the switch got flipped.
No, it didn't.
And it's going to stay flipped. And I'm going to remind you about Drew Brees. That he, as the starting quarterback this year, has lost 3 games. He lost to the Rams 27-9. He got hurt, obviously.
Right.
Yes.
He lost at home to the Falcons 26-9. He managed 9 points against
And
the Falcons.
the Falcons, hold on, didn't the Falcons just beat the 49ers?
Yeah.
But y'all lost to the Jets.
Well, I can't defend any of that. This is a new. The whole calendar just got flipped over.
Y'all lost to Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, we lost to all those teams. I agree with you. But then remember, the Saints lost at home to Jimmy Garoppolo. They got outscored by Jimmy G.
Yeah, so hold on. That Jimmy G
Yeah.
that beat the Packers, that did a number on you guys.
Yep. Wait, Jimmy G didn't do a number.
Jimmy G did a number on the Packers that did a number on you.
Okay.
They did, but I have no fear of going to Lambeau Field and beating Aaron Rodgers. I just don't.
But he don't have no fear y'all coming. He don't have no fear.
Aaron Rodgers' numbers are pedestrian this year. He is not Aaron Rodgers.
He's Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know how they are winning. They're the flip side of the Cowboys because I don't see it except for the record. The record's
true.
sensational.
Yeah.
They're not great on defense. They're not great on offense. I don't know. The other
but he
Aaron is
great.
the MVP.
He great though.
Aaron Jones
What about
is
your
the
guy?
MVP. Aaron Jones makes that train fly.
And guess what? But that happens sometimes because you're deep. Look at the Patriots.
Yep.
What are they known for? Defense. Because
Now
your guy has been less than pedestrian.
Which guy?
Your guy's waiting on the bus to come.
Oh.
He can't even walk on his own, Jenny.
Waiting on the bus.
Yeah, he waiting on the bus.
It was only 2 Super Bowls ago that my guy set the all-time record for passing yards at 505 while his genius head coach gave up 41 to the
That
backup
was 2 years
quarterback.
ago. Do you know what I was doing 2 years
Only
ago?
2 years ago.
2.
Yeah.
2 years ago. A lot of things have transpired in 2 years.
Yes, so. Then we go down to Seattle. Right now, they're the number 1 seed.
Number 1.
Seattle came to our place last year for a playoff game, and we beat them pretty soundly, actually.
Buffalo came to your place and beat you pretty soundly.
That was not a playoff game.
Yeah, okay.
All we have to do is go to Philadelphia, and we get a home playoff game if we beat Philly.
And you get the
Philly.
49ers.
Yeah.
You get the 49ers. Jimmy G.
Good.
We'll remind everybody why Coach Belichick wanted to do that thing he wanted to do.
I'm going to remind you, you've been telling me all year, Jimmy G is the fatal flaw of the 49ers.
Yes.
Can't
okay?
trust
But y'all got many flaws. Y'all got many flaws.
I didn't see many on display on Sunday.
Yeah, but I saw.
Did you see any?
I saw him against Chicago. I saw him against Buffalo. I saw him against New England. Because you do realize you only scored 9 against New England. You do realize you only scored 10 against the Saints. You do realize that, right?
Old news.
Oh, no, you talking about that 44. So
that was like last year.
No, it wasn't. No,
Feels
it
like a
wasn't.
long time ago.
Yeah,
Hold on.
it started over on Sunday.
And then
The calendar
Started
flipped
over?
over. Yeah.
people was booing, wanted Mitchell Trubisky gone. And now they got a shrine of him after what he did to you guys.
Well, now they want him gone again.
Yeah.
For what he didn't do to Aaron Rodgers.
Can't win right now.
Josh Allen did a number on you guys.
He's doing a number on a lot of
I
people.
don't know about the other guys. I know about you. I'm talking about you.
I agree with everything you're
And what
saying.
about Sam Darnold? When the last time Sam Darnold won a game?
Yeah. Well, they did get on a little roll.
He's had a
in the
little
middle
bit
the
of a
year.
tough.
Thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
The man had mono.
Yeah.
The man came back off the mono, didn't practice. They said he weighed 27 pounds.
Really?
That was a little
Yeah.
adrenaline.
You got
kicked
me.
in.
And then what
Been a
happened
while.
Sunday, Shannon Sharpe? What happened?
What happened?
What did your eyes tell you? They told you, oh, and I can't say the word that you said, but it's somewhere
They told
like,
me,
oh,
they like,
you know
I
what?
can't believe E.D. Rams showed up with this bull jive on their mind. That's what he showed me.
You know, speaking of ED, I
I was gonna
haven't
say,
heard from him
have you-
lately.
you
I
should
don't know.
check
He
in
dropped
with him.
completely off the face of the earth.
Oh.
The
Makes sense now.
Rambassador, I didn't hear a peep from him.
Oh, I guess
don't
he's going to
know.
be
I
on
want you to remember
Friday,
this.
Skip.
I hope he's going to. Do you think he'll
Friday.
show up on Friday?
Oh,
want-
he'll have
I want
plenty
you-
to
I don't
say.
know.
He'll
I
have
want
plenty
you,
to
Jenny.
say.
I want you to remember. You remember? You see how big you talking right now? You talking real big.
I'm
He
talking
said the
facts.
season restarted after the
Minnesota.
win.
Would I like to get another shot at your Vikings?
Okay,
yes,
okay.
I would.
Fine with it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Janelle Hunter coming.
Ready.
Because we had you, and then we
Y'all
took the
had
ball
nothing.
out of
See, they
Jackson
Y'all
gave
had
it
and
to
gave it to
Chargers
Y'all
Zeke,
had
Zeke,
nothing.
Zeke.
Y'all had nothing, and you got to like it. All I'm saying is that, hey, I'm taking the 49ers, Saints, Green Bay, and Seattle. But hold on,
what?
hold on. Time out. First of all, this is a moot point. Y'all not going to the playoffs. The Eagles gonna beat you on Sunday.
Troy Aikman is exactly right. None of these teams want to play my team. If they got forced to play Dallas, they'd be like, they'd use that word you use. Oh,
No, they wouldn't.
bleep.
No, they wouldn't. I mean, that ain't like Troy. The one thing I could always count on with Troy was never a homer. But he got that sign up, Jenny. Welcome home. He got the sign up
No.
on his door. Yes, he does.
No, he's just seeing the facts
Ain't
right
no
before
facts.
your very eyes.
So hold on. How you go from nobody wants to play the Cowboys? I don't know how they recover from this.
Well, in fairness,
It was a
Troy has seen
shocking
them the
turnaround.
most
It
out
was
of
a
anyone.
Yes.
Turnaround.
So he of all people know what they're capable of laying eggs on Krimmer.
They are. They are.
Yes.
Oh, I can't
Yes.
wait for this
You
game.
better hope so.
I'm so
don't hope for
looking
nothing.
forward to it.
No mercy.
It's being reported that Julian Edelman is now dealing with a tendon issue in his left knee in addition to other minor injuries. After the Patriots win over the Bengals, Edelman said, quote, everyone has some sort of injury but would not confirm what it was he's dealing with. Meanwhile, it was rookie receiver N'Keal Harry who finally stepped up and found the end zone on Sunday, drawing praise from both Brady and Belichick. So, Shannon, how much trouble are the Patriots in at receiver?
Well, they would be in serious trouble because he's their best receiver. He's their most consistent receiver. He has the best chemistry with Tom
Sure.
Brady. He's the guy that moves the chain, that keeps those chains, that keeps Tom Brady on the field, keeps that defense rested so when they come out there, when they can put together these long drives, because, Skip, they don't have a splash player that can, the Randy Moss or the guy that can take you over the top like that now on their roster. So if he were to have to miss some time or he's struggling, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for them to move the ball. There's only so many times you can throw the ball to the running back, Skip. And that's what they had become before N'Keal Harry, and he only caught 2 passes, I think, Sunday.
Yep.
They have become Edelman and James White. They throw as 20 targets at those 2 guys. They normally come down with somewhere between 13 and 15 of those, and then you try to get a big play on the defense. This is why, Skip, Coach Belichick is trying to block punts and playing a lot of zero coverage, trying to create turnovers, because he knows that consistently his offense now can't move the ball. They got that one drive, Skip, and then they struggled after that to move the ball until Cincinnati started turning the ball over, giving them short fields. And see, that's the thing. Look at Tom Brady and LeBron. You see, people last year thought LeBron had dipped because his impact of the game wasn't the same. Well, when you don't have now you look at LeBron now that he has AD, he has somebody, Skip, that can help him impact the game. Well, maybe if Tom Brady had a viable option other than Edelman, had some more weapons, maybe his play, you wouldn't think that his play has slipped. But because his play has slipped a little or he doesn't have the level of talent around him, now you're starting to see what Tom's like. Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, granted, I'm not in year 10 anymore, but I ain't this bad.
Plus, they can't protect him the way they used to.
Consistently.
Consistently. Like last night, Drew Brees got protected all game long.
Yeah.
It gave him time to say, no, yes.
Yeah, he got flushed. He got flushed one time and he ended up throwing a touchdown on that
did.
one, but I think he got it called back.
He did. And he's a little more nimble at his age
He
than
is.
Tom is
Right.
at his age. So, this is Tom Brady's greatest challenge because no weapons, no real offensive line. They did run the ball some, but remember, at Cincinnati, you're going up against the 29th worst run defense. So what am I supposed to read into? They got 175. Sony had 19 for 89, and then Burkhead got loose late.
Right.
He added 53 and one long touchdown run. Can you trust that going forward? Probably not. No. So I'm going to say this again. This team will ironically, shockingly, go as far as N'Keal Harry carries them. And he is a raw rookie who missed the first half of the year because he's on IR. And to me, it's going to be Brady's greatest challenge Josh McDaniels' greatest challenge, Belichick's greatest challenge. They are talking him up because they need to speed up his maturation. And as you pointed out, they don't do rookies. They don't like rookies.
They
don't
never
have to trust rookies.
Nope.
I see him as your only hope because I'm not saying he's Randy Moss, but he's got a little bit of that going on, just a little bit. I want to show you one play from Sunday that gave me hope. It's early in the second quarter. If we could see Tom's throw to N'Keal Harry, because they're going to have to do this again and again. Now look at this. Okay, that's that guy.
Right.
Guess what? That play got nullified by a penalty on Julian Edelman, who quietly false started on the opposite side of the formation, and nobody even knew the play was dead.
Right.
But can you see? Okay, is that possible? Yes.
Skip White, this might be Brady's greatest achievement. It's also probably, I think, one of his easiest because he's not going to have to get to very many points. Can he get to 17?
Okay.
Because that's the question.
Okay, but that guy number 15, he's going to have to help him get there.
Yes.
So what did they try to do?
Right.
They handed it to him on little jet sweeps twice.
Right.
And he did okay. He ran twice for 22 yards. He caught 2 balls for 15, but he did catch the touchdown.
Correct.
Belichick gave him high marks because the DB tried to shove him out of bounds, which is the correct play to make.
Right.
And the kid kept his balance and fought back along the end line and got loose after Tom finally did have some time to throw. Okay, so we saw that. We saw the splash play that against Kansas City that should have been a touchdown, wasn't a touchdown, and we saw the touchdown pass against Dallas.
Skip, one of the biggest things that you notice the difference between the Patriots this year and years past, they can't overcome turnovers because their offense is not nearly explosive enough. And if Tom turns the ball over and put that defense on short fields, it's hard for them to overcome that. I believe the magic number for them, especially if they at home, would probably be 20 points. It's going to be tough sledding for someone in their building to get to 20. Now, the question is this year, do you believe Tom can get to 27 or 31 or what it's going to probably take if he has to go on the road and, say, face a Baltimore? You're going to have to get to 30, Skip.
I would agree.
I believe you have to get to 30.
I'm not sure he has the weapons or just the firepower. Right. I don't know if he can get to 30.
He's definitely going to have to. He's going to need Julian Edelman, Skip. I'm not so sure that. I don't know who they played this week, but I might have to sit Edelman down.
Buffalo.
Well, you can't sit him down against Buffalo.
Well, I don't know. I think he is so beat up.
He is.
And he was a shell of himself. He caught 2 balls for 9 yards. He caught 1 for 11 and 1 for -2.
Right.
That's it. That's Julian Edelman, Super Bowl MVP. And they say now he's got a bad knee. I know he's had a bad shoulder and ribs all year.
Right.
So he's on the injury report from multiple injuries. And there's been a lot of conjecture up in Patriot Nation. Should they sit him for the last 2 games and just try to get him remotely healthy for the playoffs?
I mean, you might, because you do get if they can get that number 2 seed, Skip, they will get a bye week, and that would help him heal some. But he might be even too. You played these last 2 games, he might be too beat up to even heal up from that week off.
Well, they're still 6.5-point favorite over Buffalo, who's 3rd in defense. I don't know how.
It's going to be tough.
I don't know how.
Buffalo's good defensively.
They are really good.
They're playing well right now. Tom always seems to figure it out, but at some point, you can't do it if you don't have any support.
Right.
No mercy.
All right, time for our final topic of the day. The Rockets shocked the Spurs last night with a 25-point comeback to win 109-107. Russell Westbrook led the Rockets with 31 points, and after the game said, quote, "Sometimes you've got to want it more than the other team." Skip, was this comeback more about the Rockets or the Spurs?
This was not about Russell Westbrook's heart. It was about my team's lack of heart and lack of talent. If you can explain this to me, my team scored 72 in the first half and 35 in the second half. It was because my team has become Bryn Forbes or bust. It has come to that for my San Antonio Spurs. He went 6 for 6 from 3 in the first half, which is how they scored 72. He went 0 for 6 from the field in the second half, which is how they scored 35, and it just felt inevitable that the lead was going to disappear. And it actually disappeared with like 2.5 minutes left, so it wasn't like they caught him at the buzzer. It was over before it was over. I'm sorry. It was hard to figure and hard to watch.
It ain't hard to figure. It's over for you guys. I told you. Oh, the Spurs are going to be there. Remember we was talking about the Lakers and what about the Spurs? What about the Jazz and Portland and Denver?
You know what? All of them disappointing.
Yeah, no. Not like the Spurs, though. Skip, how do you have a 25-point lead and you have 2 All-Stars on your roster? You have DeMar DeRozan and you have LaMarcus Aldridge.
Former All-Stars.
No. Hold on. If I'm not mistaken, didn't LaMarcus Aldridge make the All-Star team last year?
I guess so. I can't remember. It's so long ago.
Feels like a while.
10 and 16? Y'all in 12th.
Yeah. Where's the great Greg Popovich?
Whoa,
I don't know. Why didn't he work his magic? I don't know.
Wow, harsh.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah,
No.
come on.
And y'all let the Beard and them come back, and he had an off night. Just imagine if he had one of them 50-point nights.
He had a bad night.
Yes, what I'm saying. He had an off night, yes.
Russell Westbrook had an off night. He went 1 for 7 from 3, which is like every night for Russell Westbrook.
James
right?
was 10 for 29. Russ was 11 for 25. So basically, they shot 21 for 54 and spotted you 25 and walked you down.
Because we scored 35 in the second half, because it's like Bryn. He's 6 feet 2 inches tall. He's undrafted out of Michigan State. Bryn, save us.
Whoa. Hold on.
0 for 6 in the second
and the
half.
Rockets.
He turned back into Bryn Forbes.
Rockets got a couple of guys can play defense. They got Tuck and they got Capella.
Yeah.
Russell and Pete and James Harden ain't playing no D.
No, they are. They play some D. They disrupt. They do.
James Harden ain't
Russell's
playing no D.
been playing hard. And by the way,
Russell plays
those
hard.
two fit together. I like this team.
They don't feel like we fit.
Working.
Old Broad and Brown.
That
Broad
is
and Brown.
different.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.